the right signals to his foreign business partners, all while selling him as the brand that offered capabilities and reach, as well as a unique understanding of D.C. That from Archer's comments in a transcribed interview before the House Oversight Committee, Fox News Digital, obtaining the more than 140-page transcript of Archer's interview, which took place behind closed doors. President Biden and the White House have repeatedly denied that the elder Biden ever discussed the foreign businesses with his son, nor did he have any knowledge about his son's business dealings.
And that was Fox's Kevin Quirk. A federal appeals court lets a rule restricting asylum at the southern border stay in place while a longer legal battle plays out over the rule's legality. It's a big victory for President Biden. America's listening to Fox News.
This could be the start of a break-in.
Stop. This is Simply Safe.
Or the end of one.
Police are on their way.
Introducing the latest innovation in home security. 24/7 LiveGuard protection, only from Simply Safe. Now, agents can see and speak to intruders through our new indoor camera to help stop crime in real time and for fast police response. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
It's not the heat, but it surely is the humidity. Very, very soupy atmosphere out there. Partly sunny skies, a couple of scattered showers and thunderstorms. Struggle, but we could hit 92. Tonight, clouds dominate, a batch of showers and thunderstorms after midnight, 72. The weekend, identical. Saturday, partly sunny, very humid, scattered thunderstorms and 89. Do that again on Sunday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Jewels on Hampton in St. Louis Hills is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, and fine watches on site. Jewels on Hampton is a premier jeweler with an exquisite selection of diamonds, semi-precious stone jewelry, and vintage watches. Their expert design team can restyle your jewelry to today's contemporary style. They also do jewelry and watch repair. Need extra cash? Jewels on Hampton is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, and fine watches. Bring in your collectibles and clocks, sports memorabilia, and figurines too. Jewels on Hampton, 4506 Hampton, just 3 blocks south of Chippewa. Call them at 314-752-5000. Jewels on Hampton.
If you're looking at new windows for your house, choose wisely. Mark Cox here for my friends at Window World. You want to go with a company you can trust. Ranked #1 in the number of windows sold in the country. That's according to Qualified Remodeler magazine. In just over 20 years in business, they've improved the look and obviously the thermal efficiency of over 70,000 customers in St. Louis. They're going to give you a lifetime warranty that covers all the parts and the glass breakage and the labor. It's a good product. Call them at 314-993-1800 for your free estimate. That's 314-993-1800. Window World won the Good Housekeeping Seal of Approval. That's not easy. They rely on the expertise of their in-house engineers and their analysts and their product experts to give that seal of approval. That should matter to you as well. Call for your free estimate right now. Simply the best for less at Window World. 314-993-1800. WindowWorld.com.
I stopped smoking with Mark Patrick's hypnosis when nothing else worked. 1 year later, my wife Michelle and I attended the Mark Patrick Weight Loss Hypnosis Seminar. In 2 months, lost 43 pounds, and she lost 18 pounds.
And we feel great.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed early bird specials at $49.99. Seminar Saturday, August 5th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites St. Louis Airport in St. Louis. Or Sunday, August 6th at the 4 Points by Sheraton St. Louis Fairview Heights in Fairview Heights. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m.
Angie makes it easier than ever to connect with skilled professionals to get your home projects done well, from repair to remodel. Book instantly at an upfront price or request quotes from multiple pros. Get started on the app or go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com.
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
So if it sounds like Annie is still not here, it's because she's not. Hey, how you doing? It's a Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
I love it.
There should be a whole TGIF or something like that.
There should be a thing for that.
Yeah, I just made that up. I'm going to copyright it and make it
into a restaurant.
That too. That would be great. We could bling our waiters and waitresses out. It'll be awesome.
Yeah, it'd be fun. Let's start a chain, national chain.
How many pieces of flair would they need, though?
Flair. It's not bling. It's flair. That's what it is.
You know what? I'm going to say no flair. I'm
No flair?
I'm going to go with no flair with my waiters, Brad.
I thought you had
Just
to have
show up
25.
and wear some clothes.
Yeah,
Clothes would be good.
with
and
the
then it
worker
would be
shortage. I'm going to say no flair.
We're not going to be picky.
Yeah.
If you show up,
Yeah.
we'll use you.
Yeah, we will.
Hey, my name is Mike Elam. Thanks for hanging out today. Brad is here running the controls. Mr. Wiggins is here and feeling better.
A little bit. Yeah, yesterday was the worst. Hopefully it didn't show when I was doing the show because, I mean, I was like highly medicated and caffeinated, but I think I've rounded the corner now.
I was watching you on the radio, and I didn't see a thing.
You were. That sounds like a weird phrase, but okay. I'll trust that that's true.
You guys can watch us, quote unquote, watch us on the radio by going to the Annie Frey YouTube page and watching the stream.
And while you're going to be there, we would love for you to take part in the YouTube live chat poll. So today, who came up with this question, by the way? I'm just curious.
This is a compilation of Brian and myself, but mostly me.
So your question today is, what is the acceptable amount of time to wear jeans before washing them? Once, a couple of days, a week, or more? I'm just curious, was someone making a comment about, man, you kind of reek. Do you wash your clothes every day? Is that how this conversation started? Or like, how did there had to be? And I know we'll get to Ask Me Anything in the 1 o'clock hour, but.
So this question came about because I was sitting out in the producer area talking with Ethan, who's one of the producers for the Mark Cox Show, and Drew Young, who is also producing for the Mark Cox Show today.
And thanks, Ethan, for filling in for Hannah today.
Well, this is a different Ethan.
Oh, sorry, different Ethan.
Yeah.
There's so many
So we'll
Ethans.
have a different Ethan in, and you guys will get to meet him a little bit later in the
So
show,
many
but he's
Ethans
filling in
and
for
Marks.
Hannah today. But we're out there talking, and they said they always do a would you rather question. One of their would you rather questions was, would you rather not bathe for a week or not wash your clothes for a week? And so I was like, okay. And then from that, I came up with this one because I've heard people argue over like
jeans.
Yeah. Do you wash your jeans every day? Because I think one of the companies came out and said that
I think it was Calvin Klein.
You're not
said,
supposed to wash
Don't
them.
wash your jeans for every time you wear them. Don't wash them.
Yeah.
It's better for them.
Did Calvin Klein have a recommendation?
No, that's what he said. As in, he himself.
Don't wash them.
He said, don't wash them. Yeah.
At all?
Well, after one use.
Right. No,
he said
I get
he goes
the one
much
use.
longer than that, but he said after one use, don't wash them.
And I could see that part, you know.
Yeah.
But I was just curious about does Calvin Klein say, oh, you could wear them 3 times before washing?
No, he
or-
didn't say. I mean, I think he said he himself doesn't wash them for over a week, but he didn't say you have to do that. He just said you're a fool if you wash them every time.
Well, I'm dying to express an opinion on this, but I will hold on to it and wait until we do the poll at 2:45 today. We will give our answers, and we will give your answers. So you go online, make sure on our YouTube poll, put in your answer. What is the acceptable amount of time to wear jeans before washing them? Obviously, once is a bad answer, so don't say once.
Or do.
No, don't say it. Calvin Klein will
it's possible that
boycott
you do that.
Yeah,
But
maybe
this is
Calvin
true.
Klein was lying to you and he wanted you to wear your jeans out faster.
You may only have one pair of jeans, and if that's the case, you're probably going to have to, you're going to have to rewear them. The biggest factor of that would probably be, what were you doing when you wore them last?
Yeah, what do you do
Yes.
for a living probably too?
Well, what in my case, I would say, what would you do? What were you doing when you wore those jeans the last time? Because if you went to a Mexican restaurant, wash your damn jeans, right? Because Casa Gallardo was the worst for me. If I took clients out when I was in sales, when I took clients out, if we went to a Casa Gallardo, and this is obviously a while back, right? So my radio advertising days, if we took them out there, I had to wash those clothes as soon as I got home. And it's like, oh, these are going to the cleaners today because you reeked everywhere I went in the afternoon after going there for lunch. Everybody, had Mexican for lunch today, huh? And I'm like, is it coming through my pores? I'm like, no, it's coming through your clothes because the restaurant just soaked it all up, which was great when you were wanting to order. But when you left, everybody's like, oh, that restaurant stays with you, doesn't it?
You know, another restaurant that does that is Subway. If you go into Subway, you
What?
come out of Subway smelling like a meatball sub for a week.
Really?
It is unbelievable. I cannot get past that.
I don't know whether I should tell the story or not because it's about Andrea's and they're, I do lives for them.
Well, the intelligent thing would be to not.
But I know so many people who've worked there, and my brother and a couple of my friends actually worked in the sauce building, the facility next to the restaurant.
The sauce building?
Yeah, so they make Andrea's sauce there on site.
I was thinking that's where they went to drink, but okay.
No,
it's the sauce building.
And they don't do that at most sauces are outsourced.
Right.
And so that's one of the rare ones that they actually do make it there.
Which is one of the things that makes them awesome.
And that's one of the things I tout when I do lives for them. I say that. But the reason I do that is because I know that for a fact because I know so many people who work there.
Okay.
But apparently the people who work there, they're like, man, when you get done working an 8-hour shift in the sauce building, your people are going to know you were there for a day or two.
Well,
because you will smell like the sauce.
Not meaning to make this whole segment about you reek like, but so one of my kids had a job for a short period of time working as a bud tender at a marijuana cultivation house.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
A bud tender?
Yeah, so so when you're growing marijuana, evidently, I'm not an authority on this, just so we're clear. So they grow these and you have to go in and you have to clip the buds.
Okay.
So I don't know the science behind it. I don't know the technique behind it, but I do know if you sit in an enclosed greenhouse with thousands of marijuana plants around you, you reek to high heaven when you leave. And I could smell him when he got out of the car.
That actually surprises me because it's not smoked at that point.
Oh,
if it were smoke, I get it. But if you just smell like the plant, around the plant.
Okay.
Here's
So
how much I know.
Ryan Wiggins has never smelled a bag of marijuana before.
No, I think I have.
So
but I just
imagine-
figured that when it was still alive, it wasn't putting off that pungent of a smell.
Oh, it is. Oh, yes, sir. It is. Well, remember, you're clipping it. So you have parts of
you're
plant
making it,
all
right.
around you. And oh man, he would come in and my wife said, hey, moving forward, when you come in the garage, you keep some clothes to change into and leave those in the garage. Don't even bring them into the laundry room because it's like the other day when I walked in the hallway and I was like, who's smoking weed in the hallway, right? It was like, okay, you walk in and the whole house smells like weed going forward.
Did you guys do any of that in the early days of COVID? The whole washing your
Oh, sorry. I thought you were saying smoking marijuana.
Smoke weed.
Did you guys smoke much
Yeah,
weed
every day, man.
ago?
That's why I didn't get it.
I mean, there was nothing else to do.
That's how it worked.
No, did you guys take your clothes off and all that stuff going into the house or any of that? Because my wife, in the first month, she was bought in. You know, she was, this is all legit. We got to go crazy here because we're going to die. And then after that, it was like, all right, I think this is a little much. But for a month, we were taking off our clothes in the garage.
Really?
And washing our groceries. I mean, I didn't want to do any of it. I was resistant to all of it.
Right.
But she was having like a nervous breakdown over the news because it was media driven.
Sure.
You know?
We didn't really know what we were getting into at that point, and everybody reacted differently.
Yeah.
No, I'm from St. Charles where COVID didn't happen. I don't know.
Love it. I
don't know
yeah.
if you knew that or not, but yeah.
I did know that.
St. Charles was the first place that I went out to eat at after COVID.
Us too.
You and everybody else.
Yeah. Well, actually, if you drive far enough into Illinois, away from
it was
the suburbs,
same thing.
They didn't ask questions.
Oh,
They
if
didn't
you
talk about it.
If you got to Breeze, I think they were serving sandwiches at the bottling plant
Oh, yeah.
at Ski.
I mean, it was like Highland, Illinois, even. You didn't even have to go that far.
Come on in, man.
Yeah.
We've got
You
you
can head out
covered.
there to East Muscuda.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I will tell you the loans of Streets of St. Charles got paid for during COVID.
I'm sure.
Because everybody in the St. Louis metropolitan area went to Streets of St. Charles to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I think, because every time I went down there, it was packed.
Yeah.
And it was like, people were going, yeah, COVID, no. And that was the whole thing where I'm like, Sam Page, I disagree with you, man, but you are an economic stimulus bonanza for St. Charles County.
Right.
So I was kind of like,
You're paying for Sam Page ads.
I know. I'm like, when I would be on the round table and Jane would be, just trashing Sam Page, which never happens. But let's just say there was that one day that she said something negative about Sam Page. I was like, man, just don't discourage him. Let's keep him going, right? Because the more that he would talk about that and the more he would shut stuff down, the more people would come to St. Charles. And it was just like, man, my folks were printing money. So I have Kyle and Kelly Dent own Shamrocks in St. Peter's. Awesome place, by the way. And awesome, even better people. The restaurant's amazing. The owners are even better people, right? So Kyle and Kelly were talking about the fact that their restaurant was just slammed more than they had ever seen it. And it would go into the late night because they would be the place where people who worked at restaurants, when their restaurants would close down early, they would all go to Shamrocks. And they were the after party place for industry people.
Amazing.
So they were just having a great time. And I'm like, how's COVID for you? And he goes, it's not bad.
You know what? At some point, my hope, and I don't know that we're there yet, I really don't. But in 10, 12 years, the stories about COVID, hopefully it's not, that changed everything and look where we are now, it's still terrible. It's you look back on it and you go, there were some weird, cool memories that you have from that era.
Right.
And assuming everything does go back to fully normal, which, I mean, it mostly has. But
I think so.
I think we talk about the economic impacts on it that we're still dealing with, the debt and things. So that stuff we haven't come out of yet. But my hope is that there's a day we can look back on that year, especially maybe two, and say, oh, you know what? That was kind of fun when we did blah, blah, blah.
Well, so two things, and then I know we got to take a break. But two things real quick. Number one, I work for a fiber company, right? So internet broadband. When you got stuck at home for a year and you were working from home, everybody realized the limitations of their current broadband and what you could do. And they're like, I don't know what speed I have for internet, but whatever I have is woefully inadequate. So when we started building out in St. Charles and St. Louis County and Metro East, and we were coming into a neighborhood, the number one thing we hear from people is, I don't know what my internet speed is, but it's woefully inadequate. What's the fastest you have, right? So for my industry, it caused a boom to happen because people are like, I need faster internet. This is killing me. Steve Elam goes around right now, and he's been doing it. He starts in March, I guess, doing the state of St. Charles County. He has to do a report to the council every year on the state of the county. It's like the year in review, right? State of the nation, right? So one of the things that Steve talks about is he has all these numbers of here was what we saw for COVID in terms of deaths per 1,000 that happen around the St. Louis metropolitan area. So he's got the numbers for St. Charles, St. Louis County, St. Louis City, the state of Missouri, the state of Illinois. Look at all these numbers. And Steve said, we all did this a little bit different. The state of Missouri was different from the state of Illinois in terms of how shut down they were and how it was open. The city and the county of St. Louis were much more shut down, especially the city. As much as Sam Page shut stuff down, the city was shut down even more.
Oh, yeah. There's
right?
still boarded up windows around here from
exactly.
that. Yeah.
They killed all kinds of local businesses, right? St. Charles was much more open. And I'm just joking when I say COVID didn't happen in St. Charles, but I did have one of my fellow council members who actually said during a county council meeting, COVID's not a thing. It's all made up. And I was like, I am not touching that, brother. You are out there on your island on your own. I am not going down that road with you. But one of the things that Steve talks about when he lays out all those numbers, St. Charles County had the lowest deaths per 1,000 of any of those. Lower than the state of Illinois, lower than the state of Missouri, lower than the city, and lower than St. Louis County. St. Charles County's deaths per 1,000 were lower than any of those numbers. And what Steve is asking about is kind of what you just said. He's waiting for someone to go back and do some research. Let's look at what everybody did. Who handled it right? Who handled it wrong? What was the best practices that we saw? And if we run into something like this again, how should we do it? And so far, and I grant you, we're just a couple of years away from this, right? But so far, nobody's really done a postmortem, pardon the expression, of how everybody reacted. So it will be interesting to see, and Steve keeps asking for this, and he would like for, the NHS or somebody to do a survey.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Well, right, because they've got an agenda that they're pushing. But
wait till Trump gets in office, and then maybe a real study might happen.
And it'll probably take 10 years, right? We're probably going to have that area where everybody who's in charge right now isn't in charge anymore.
Right.
So you can have plausible deniability and do an actual blind study and look at the facts on the ground and say, okay, who actually handled this best and what was the best way for us to do that? So it will be interesting to see once we finally get there. Hey, we've got a lot going on today that's going to be a ton of fun. In the 1 o'clock hour, we're going to do Ask Me Anything, which I'm really looking forward to because I haven't been there for that. We're going to play X's and O's in the 2 o'clock hour like we normally do on a Friday with Ethan, who was previously mentioned, different Ethan than before. And Princess Storm is coming over from next door. I'm looking forward to meeting her. So we will be playing that. We've got Wiggins America a little bit later on this hour. And next hour, just in case you didn't know, today kicks off the sales tax holiday for the weekend for the state of Missouri. And you're like, yeah, I've been there before. It's different this year. Senator Andrew Koenig is going to talk to us. He piloted a bill through the Missouri Senate that makes you actually care that we have a sales tax holiday this weekend. But coming up next, we're going to talk to Mark Harder from St. Louis County Council, and we're going to talk a little bit about the bowling project that is being proposed and find out a little bit more about what are the ins and outs of that. My name is Mike Elam, sitting in for Annie Frey today. This is St. Louis's home for conservative talk, 97.1 FM Talk.
Every pure intention ends when the good
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
to reach the first time spark.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
Babbel's interactive lessons are created by real language teachers and voiced by real native speakers using a modern conversation-based method. So in no time, you can start speaking confidently about real-life topics in another language.
Nosotras vamos a México en 2 días y ahora hablamos español. Gracias, Babbel. Sí, muchas gracias.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Okay, I'm ready to record my jewelry store's new radio spot. We got a great script that really goes after Diamonds Direct and how they're nothing special, and how we can match their price. Great stuff. Yeah.
Great. And we have this new technology that bleeps out any false claims, so it saves us time with editing. So you can start anytime.
Okay, here it goes. When you visit our jewelry store, we'll absolutely guarantee direct. Our diamonds come straight from the mine. We have cutters and Hey, what the?
The hard truth is that other jewelry stores simply can't do what Diamonds Direct can. Diamonds Direct has special relationships with De Beers, international connections, and virtually unlimited buying power. The result is true direct importer pricing, exceptional quality, and up to 30 times the diamond selection you find at other stores.
I can't believe this thing won't let me say
Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Get more truth at diamondsdirect.com.
Mark Cox here. Different real estate agents will sell your home for different amounts of money. Don't be fooled into thinking all realtors are created equal, because they're not. Different realtors will get you different results. So the agent you choose to sell your home matters. The experience your agent has, the marketing, the database of buyers, the systems, and the capabilities of your realtor, they all matter. Why? Because how much you sell your home for matters to you. That's why I recommend you call Gloria Liu with your home sold guaranteed realty. According to MLS statistics, Gloria sells her listings for more money than the average agent, and she does it with less hassle. With 20-plus years of experience, our local real estate expert, Gloria Liu, knows how to get you the most money for your home, guaranteed. Gloria offers her sellers multiple selling options, so call her at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Conditions apply. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Come to the Enchanted Attic. Come to the Enchanted Attic. Come to the Enchanted Attic, and the mysteries of life shall be revealed. Gaze into a crystal ball to see your future. Breathe in the exotic fragrances of incense, candles, and essential oils. Adorn your body with jewelry encrusted with mystical gemstones from around the world. Why, many who enter the magical realm of the Enchanted Attic feel as though they have entered another dimension in time and space. But actually, in reality, they have just entered 304 South Main Street in historic St. Charles, home of the famous Enchanted Attic. This is Diane, and you need to come to the Enchanted Attic. It's mystical, magical, and a whole lot of fun. Open every day, free gift with purchase. You'll love this store.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Summer's just getting started. Still need your air conditioner checked? Schedule your HVAC system check for only $54. This is a limited time offer. For details, visit aircomfortservice.com.
The Heritage Foundation is coming back to St. Louis. Jim Carafano, Hans von Spakovsky, Genevieve Wood. Join us August 9th. Tickets are only $10 at Tapawingo National Golf Club. Secure your tickets at 971talk.com/events. This is the Annie Frey Show.
Guess who just got back today?
Your Friday is always better when you get a little Thin Lizzy in the mix of it. My name is Mike Elam, sitting in for Annie Frey today. Thank you very much for letting us be a part of your weekend kickoff. We are going to talk about the sales tax holiday that actually starts today with Senator Andrew Koenig on the other side of 1 o'clock. He is actually running for state treasurer. You may be interested in that particular seat, though, because St. Louis County Councilman Mark Harder is on the phone with us right now. Mark, how are you, sir?
Hey, Mike, how you doing? Good morning. Good afternoon, I guess.
So I mentioned Andrew Koenig because he is terming out next year, and you are actually running for that Senate seat, aren't you?
I sure am. And Andrew's a great guy. He's done a great job for the people of West County and the 15th senatorial district, and I wish him well on his new statewide run.
Everybody is like the chairs are being rearranged. Everybody's moving for different offices, and we will see where it goes. So as we get closer to the election, we'll talk to you a little bit more about Senate. How long have you been on county council now?
This is my 9th year.
Your
on
9th
St.
year?
Louis County Council, yeah, and 3 years on the Baldwin City Council before that.
So it's like you're figuring out what you're doing. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, when I grow up, I'll figure out what I want to do.
There you go. I figure I'll grow up and be a senator. We'll see where that goes. Hey, I wanted to talk to you a little bit because you and I were having a conversation when we were here the other day about what is going on with Boeing and the project that they have proposed and what that actually means to the St. Louis region. And I wanted to have you on to can you first give a little background about what's going on with what Boeing is proposing, and then tell us a little bit about how that's going to affect the local municipalities in the county.
Sure. Boeing came before a number of us, I guess about 2 months ago, and talked about this project. They are bidding on a new fighter jet program. It's called Project Voyager, and it's a new project. It will be a new way of building planes. It's just kind of a game changer when it comes to the way the next generation of fighter jets will be produced. And they're in the process of bidding on this with the government, and they're in competition with some of the other fighter jet manufacturers in this country, which aren't many right now, but they're in competition with those. And then also different jurisdictions where this new project will be headquartered and these planes will be built. So what they're proposing is to create 2 manufacturing facilities adjacent to Lambert Airport. It'll be over 1 million square feet. This project, when it's complete, will pretty much cost them about $1.8 billion over about 5 years. It'll take to build these manufacturing plants, and they'll employ about 500 people once it's up and running. There'll be thousands of jobs, construction jobs, of course, to build this as well. So it's a huge project. It'll be the largest build projects in St. Louis going forward. And what they've done is come to St. Louis County Council and St. Louis County government to ask for an abatement on their property tax and also on sales tax on the materials used to build this facility. And we'll be discussing that next week in a committee of the whole. So that's kind of in a nutshell what this is about. And it's looking to be a very good project and one that will keep Boeing here as well as make St. Louis the hub for fighter jets for Boeing going forward.
Well, I know there's been a lot of conversation about jobs at Boeing, and we're always worried whenever we talk about a defense contract and about losing a particular fighter jet that they build there, and if that goes away, what does that mean for jobs? But Boeing has done very well recently. They've gone from about 14,700 jobs up to over 16,000 jobs now that are in the St. Louis area, which is fantastic. But it really shows how tied we are to Boeing in the St. Louis area. I mean, I remember when the Ford plant closed in North County and the devastation that really left up in North County. So it means a lot for a healthy Boeing, for a healthy St. Louis County and a healthy St. Louis region, doesn't it?
It does. And for people like ourselves in leadership and in boards and approval process managers, so to speak, it's up for us to make sure these are scrutinized, and that's what we'll be doing next week. We've got what's called a committee of the whole, which anyone in the community can listen to if they can, or can come to it. It will be on Tuesday afternoon. It will be on video, and you'll be able to listen to representatives of the Boeing company, St. Louis County government, the unions, and others that are advocating for this to talk about it and what it means to St. Louis, and that will be all public. And I encourage that and ask for that meeting about 2 weeks ago, and because I wanted people to understand what it is we're committing to and what it is that this will mean for St. Louis County and St. Louis region, in pretty much eastern Missouri, for that fact, what this will mean to us going forward. So we want to shine light on it so that everybody understands what it's about and can talk about it, going forward. But we are in competition, from what I've been told, with 2 other locations and 2 other companies. And they have done, supposedly the other companies have done what we're doing here, talked about it, received these what they call Chapter 100 bonds. And so, we got to be equal in what we're bidding, and so that everybody knows that everybody's on the same playing field in all these different jurisdictions.
So obviously, when you start talking about tax abatements, people get nervous.
Right.
Are you hearing opposition to that from groups who are saying, hey, this is going to cost us whatever? Are you hearing about that yet? Or do you expect to hear something like that?
We're not hearing about it yet. I think a lot of it is understanding it, and these things get very complicated. They're legal arrangements. St. Louis County will not be on the hook for any of this. All we are, from this county standpoint, is either approving it or not approving it. What it is, it's a future abatement, meaning that future sale or property taxes on this property after it's built, which will take about 5 years, the value that Boeing will pay basically 50% less than whatever the market value of those buildings are from a taxing standpoint for about 10 years. After that 10 years, then it goes to market rate, and they pay like they have on all their other buildings going forward. But what this does is give them some equal playing field with other jurisdictions to get this project off the ground and start producing these planes and providing jobs to the next generation of workers for Boeing.
But Boeing is, to be clear, Boeing is not asking for any type of tax abatement on anything they currently have.
Correct.
This
it's
is only on
these
future.
2 buildings that it's only on these 2 buildings that they propose to build, and they because it's such a massive scale. We're talking about 1 million square feet of per production facility, and so it's going to be a major project, and that's what they're asking for. And they're asking for a sales tax abatement on the equipment and what will be in these buildings to manufacture these planes as well. So that's what they're asking. But that's the simple form. That's why we want to get these experts in this meeting and explain it to our residents what this looks like, and to those that are interested in how this all comes together.
And to be clear, the meeting is going to be when and where?
It will be on Tuesday afternoon. I'm not really sure the exact time. I think it's around 3 o'clock, but I can get back to you on that. And it will be on Zoom, which means that you can get it. You can go on to St. Louis County's website, and under County Council, you'll say Committee of the Whole, and it's called Boxcast, and you can watch the meeting that way as well. Or you can just come to the County Council chambers in Clayton and attend the meeting in person and see all these people that are representing these different entities in person as well.
It's always fun to go to a St. Louis County Council meeting. It's great to have the people show up. We had about 400 of them show up at the St. Charles County Council meeting Monday night at the Family Arena. It's good to meet the people.
Yeah, and I know you had to actually get a bigger place, like an arena, to have your meetings. So.
Luckily, we own one. So I hope you don't have to have 400 people show up at your meeting. But the good news is, since it is online, you could literally have 1 million folks that could go on and watch that. So I wish you the best with this. It sounds like an amazing project. And in the aerospace industry and defense industry these days, it's extremely competitive. And what you were saying earlier, the number of players keeps whittling down all the time. So I think it's important for St. Louis that we keep a very healthy Boeing and keep those jobs here in St. Louis.
That's right, and that's a national security issue. You know, when you only have, after a while, only a few manufacturers of these different weapon systems, that can get, first, it gets expensive because it's there's not much competition, but B, that we're very dependent on those few vendors that are out there and the suppliers that keep them alive. So that whole industry has shrunk over the years because of reduced spending in defense, and that whittles down these suppliers. So hopefully this will generate some new interest and some new suppliers to this new fighter jet that they're proposing, and we'll be building things, for the next, hopefully, 50 to 75 years at this facility.
That is St. Louis County Council member Mark Carter. Mark, thanks for spending some time with us. Hope you have a wonderful weekend.
Okay, you too.
It's always good to talk to you. There's always so much going on, and I remember when Boeing was having some issues and looking at maybe losing some products, that our senators and our congressmen went to bat for them, saved those jobs, and hopefully this is something we can win a project and continue to expand with Boeing here in St. Louis. One of my favorite segments when I get to sit in and do the Annie Frey Show is coming up. It's Wiggins America.
And Wiggins is going to do the bee or not the bee. Have you heard this segment before?
I have no idea.
Oh, well,
don't prep me. I want to be
Stick around.
surprised.
This is going to be great because you're going to participate in this.
Oh, so this could be scarier than what I thought.
Oh, it's not going to be scary. It's going to be fun.
Hey, well, make sure that you check into our YouTube live chat poll today. What is the acceptable amount of time to wear jeans before washing them? You stinky people. Is it once, a couple of days, a week, or even more? We're going to give the poll results of that in about 2 hours from right now, but get your opinions in right now. My name is Mike Elam, sitting in for Annie Frey today on St. Louis's home for conservative talk, 97.1 FM Talk.
Man, when I tell you she was cool, she was red hot.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Well, this chick got up and she slapped Janet's face. Man, we just fell about the place. If that chick don't want to know, forget her.
Hey, I want to talk to you about your home and air comfort service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Specifically, the parts of your home that you don't like because it's not comfortable in there. I have experienced this myself. An AeroSeal duct sealing from Air Comfort Service. They have been solving comfort problems in homes for over 50 years, mine included. House is usually the most expensive purchase that we make, so you want to make sure you get the most out of that purchase by enjoying all the areas of your home. If you have a hot second or third floor, or a freezing cold basement, if it's too hot or too cold in a room or addition, Air Comfort Service can help you with this. Leaky ductwork in your home can be the culprit. An AeroSeal duct sealing with Air Comfort Service heating, cooling, and insulation can fix this. Or they can install a ductless mini split system, which will give you more usable space to enjoy. Reach out to Air Comfort Service by calling them at 314-513-0091. That's 314-513-0091 and schedule an appointment today. I've done it in my home. I know that you'll appreciate the service in yours as well. AirComfortService.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I was having a lot of sinus infections. My sinuses were clogged, pressure, headaches.
Linda suffered for years with chronic sinus infections.
You don't feel like doing anything. When you feel like your head is completely clogged, all you want to do is just lay down and sleep. And the pressure, it's just not fun, always walking around with a headache.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of St. Louis Sinus Centers called balloon sinuplasty.
I really did not know what it was like to feel like you're really breathing and not being so clogged up. I would do it again in a heartbeat, and I would definitely recommend it for someone else.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, congestion? Find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Set an appointment today with St. Louis Sinus Centers. Call 314-332-2885. 314-332-2885. That's 314-332-2885.
Tune into the Del Walmsley Radio Show. Del, self-made millionaire and founder of Lifestyles Unlimited, will show you how to live the life of your dreams and pay for it with passive income.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
Hey, we need your questions for Ask Me Anything, the more creative ones. We usually like those quite a bit. You can leave those on our live stream, and while you're there, participate in today's vote, which is what is the acceptable amount of time to wear jeans before washing them? Once, couple days, a week, or more. All of that is there on the Annie Frey Show YouTube live stream. The time right now is 12:46. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Connect with the personalities and give your feedback. 97.1 FM Talk is on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. For content that's additional to the radio, join us there. You're listening to The Annie Frey Show.
Well, looky here, what do we have? Another pretty thing ready for me to grab. But little does she know that I'm a wolf and she
Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
So it's Mike Elam sitting in for Annie Frey today. I am excited and scared about Ask Me Anything that is coming up. So I've got a couple of questions that I was told by Brad that I needed to have done. So
Yep.
I did my homework.
We always bring a couple.
It may have been last minute, but it doesn't matter. So I got my homework done.
Sometimes those are the best.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's the ones that you didn't spend a lot of time pondering that really come out to be the best.
But we do want the questions from the listeners as well. We love answering your questions for us. So if you guys want to jump on the live chat, please jump in there. Throw your Ask Me Anything questions down. You can ask us anything. If we don't want to answer your question, then we just won't bring it up. But if we like your question, we'll read it on the air and answer it.
I did want to let Scooter know, since he misses Hannah. Yes, Hannah is not with us today, and we're all sad.
She's in a better
about
place.
that. She's in a better place
At home.
You know,
In bed.
a moment of silence for Hannah not being here. Thank you.
Okay.
The alarms are starting to go off.
You can't pause for long because
No, you
you'll
can't.
start getting these
The lights
alarms
on, the
online.
lights.
Hey, why are we off the air?
Just want to point out before we get to Wiggins America that tickets are online right now for the Heritage event coming up on Wednesday at Tapawingo. Wednesday night, we'll all be there along with Jim Carafano and Genevieve Wood and Hans von Spakovsky, and tickets are $10. So go to 971talk.com/events to get those. And now I will toss to myself now, Brad.
Well done, sir.
Yeah. That's amazing radio stuff, Ryan.
Wiggins! All right. Mike, this is called The Bee or Not the Bee because you're probably familiar with the Babylon Bee.
I am.
It is a satire news website.
So is this a real story or is this a...
That's exactly right.
Thanks for playing.
Basically what I do is I read the headline, which is a real headline from either the Bee or from a real news source, which could be anywhere.
Okay.
And then you have to tell me whether you think it's real or not. And if...
How do we define real news sources?
Well...
Okay. Just curious.
And I don't alter them. I might select different paragraphs from the story that either make it sound more real or more fake, but it's all legit stuff, either from the Bee or from a real news source.
From the Bee. So the Bee or not the Bee?
The Bee or not the Bee.
That is the question.
White House says Bidenomics so successful, the average American has twice as many jobs as they had 2 years ago.
Oh, I'm going to say that's a real. That is not the Bee.
That's just enough satire to be the Bee. So I'm going to say Babylon Bee.
Quote, thanks to the president's wonderful economic policies, most Americans have at least 2 jobs, said gay black press secretary Karine Jean-Pierre to the raucous applause. Yeah, you got it. It's the Bee. Raucous applause of hand-picked journalists in the room. Quote, our economists ran the numbers and found that's twice as many jobs as people used to have just a few years ago. So many jobs. Success. Wow, thanks, President Biden, said local barista / hardware store clerk / landscaper / drive-through worker / Uber driver Brett Barnes. I'm just swimming in jobs right now. Just a couple more jobs and I'll be able to afford bread, eggs, and milk. Bidenomics.
Bidenomics. There used to be a show, I think it was called Fridays. That was a late night show. It was like a version of Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, I remember it.
But the guy used to talking about, I'm Jamaican, man. I got 14 jobs.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah. They used to always make fun of it. It was this Jamaican family, and their whole thing was.
That was where Michael Richards got his start, wasn't it?
Yes. Yes. So they had this whole thing about how many, if you were Jamaican, you worked 23 jobs. And then they had the lazy members of their family that only had like 5 jobs. But in Bidenomics, everybody, and that's the thing I was going to ask a little bit later on, but everybody's got a side hustle.
I think the famous episode of Fridays was when, what's his name, Man on the Moon, Andy Kaufman, was hosting or guesting or something, and he just stopped in the middle of the show, and Michael Richards walks out and gets the cue cards from the cue card man and tosses them down in front of him. And it was apparently a real thing. I mean, Andy Kaufman would just ruin things on purpose.
Right.
And he just stopped in the middle of the sketch and was just like, I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't like this. And it was an unscripted moment that was like the most famous moment of the show.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Like a comedic genius or just a jerk?
Yeah, it's a very thin line.
I think both are possible. And I think with him, both were possible.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
The bee or not the bee?
Trudeau's divorce leaves nation in shock that he was married to a woman.
I'm going to stick with that's a real headline.
I am going to call that a B. That was a real headline until not a woman.
Trudeau's Canadian wife, who no one has ever seen and may not exist, has reportedly had her bank account and assets frozen pending reconciliation. If she returns home and lets her husband decorate, it's the B. Decorate the living room.
Stick at this.
Decorate the living room of the Rideau cottage the way he wants. She will be welcomed back with open arms. The ball's in her court, Trudeau had maintained. She has to stop having her own opinions and feelings.
See, I feel like these are actual stories that I could see the mainstream media actually saying.
The Babylon Bee is so good.
They are
They're
right
so
there.
good at it.
Story selection matters because you
true.
can pick some that are obvious and some are not. All right, here's the next one. San Francisco fines Batman for illegal bat signal.
Do you want me to go first?
Go ahead.
I've
sucked at this
real.
so far. I think it's real as well.
Oh, no, wait. You said San Francisco.
San Francisco fines Batman for illegal bat signal.
They got mad at Elon Musk in San Francisco for the X. This is the B. This is the Babylon Bee.
Quote, "We can't have this sign of justice and virtue in our city," said San Francisco Mayor London Breed. "Do you know how much electricity that light uses? This type of goody-goody grandstanding may work over on the East Coast in places like Gotham City, but we're not in the business of shaming criminals here in our town. Who does this Batman think he is?"
Well, from a city who tries to put as many homeless people in fine hotels as they possibly can, and then is surprised when they literally defecate in the hallway, is it possible to do anything to say something like this?
Criminals throughout the Golden City are already ramping up their efforts now that they don't have to worry about the Batman being alerted to their evil deeds.
As if they have police to show up anyway.
Right. All right, next one. Colorado woman in blackface terrorizes Target and Starbucks with unhinged rants.
Real. This one's real.
Okay,
It's got to be real.
I haven't been right yet, so I'm going to stick with that because eventually I'm right.
He's got to have some real stories.
A former Colorado postal worker in blackface was captured on video terrorizing a Target and Starbucks with unhinged rants about whiteface and politics. Quote, "Lester Holt did whiteface and nobody said blank." Campbell can be heard telling an employee who confronted her about the offensive face paint. Yeah, this is a real story. NBC journalist Holt, who is black, dressed up as British singer Susan Boyle for an episode of The Today Show over 10 years ago. Campbell also demanded to see the store's Pride section and became frustrated when the gobsmacked workers told her that Pride Month ended in June.
Oh, she's probably going, wait, it was only 1 month?
I think that is what she said.
There are a lot of people that are insane that are out and about right now. And you'll come across, because there was one from Oakland or something like that, too.
Yeah.
Just a naked woman on the freeway shooting at people.
That was a real story. Here's another one. Aide pushes cart through halls of Congress yelling, "Bring out your dead."
I'm going to say that's a B.
That's a Babylon B.
Longtime congressional aide Mark Mathis has been tasked with slowly pushing a cart through the halls of Congress to collect the dead bodies. Quote, "The dead body smell was getting overpowering," explained Mr. Mathis. "So now I push this official congressional wheelbarrow around to collect the corpses." Government work, am I right? All right, we got time for, we'll sneak a couple in here if we can. All right.
Do we have a minute?
1 minute.
We have a minute.
Judge warns Trump against bribing or influencing witnesses.
Well, that's a true story.
Yeah,
that's one of the things he's charged for.
That is a true story. U.S. Magistrate Judge Maxilla Upadhyaya,
bless you,
reminded Trump during the arraignment proceedings that bribing, influencing, or retaliating against witnesses is a crime. While Upadhyaya will oversee Trump's arraignment, she will not oversee the trial. The case has been assigned to U.S. District Judge Tanya Chutkan, an Obama appointee who has handed down strong sentences to January 6 defendants. He's going to get a fair trial, everybody. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's in D.C. How could that possibly go wrong?
That's right. That's right. So
maybe we'll catch up on some more of these. Wiggins America, everybody. We are going to talk to Senator Andrew Koenig on the other side. If you haven't figured it out yet, it's sales tax holiday weekend in Missouri. Go buy a bunch of stuff from a small business. My name's Mike Elam, in for Annie Frey on 97.1 FM Talk.
What should I do? So many eager young bunnies that I'd like to pursue. Now even though they're eating
Michael's Flooring Outlet online at igotfloored.com. Shop igotfloored.com to request an estimate to see the different products that they have available for you when you need to replace the flooring in your home or in your place of business. Michael's Flooring Outlet and igotfloored.com will provide you solutions for residential needs and for commercial needs. If you are looking for carpeting, I suggest the Smart Strand Mohawk Silk brand. It's a silky softness with extra superior performance. It has 3 times more individual fibers than ordinary nylon carpet. It's a smart bet, and it's Smart Strand Mohawk Silk. They have it at Michael's Flooring Outlet, just one of the different products that they have that guarantees you the quality that your dollar deserves, but the respect also that your dollar deserves. You want quality, you work hard for your money, but you want to make sure that you get the value as well. Pair that with the best customer service in the flooring business at a locally owned and operated family business in Michael's Flooring Outlet. You can find it all online right now at igotfloored.com.
Hi, this is Brian with Velocity Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 314-782-3333. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition and any price range in the St. Louis area. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that needs updating, but you don't have the time or money for it? Great, because I love buying outdated houses. I buy vacant houses, job relocation houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 314-782-3333. That's 314-782-3333.
Summer is flying by, fall is on the way, and maybe you haven't cleaned up yet from that summer barbecue, or you want to get ready for some fall parties with back to school coming up very quickly. Zero Res has you covered on every occasion. Carpets, tiles, rugs, upholstery, every surface in your home can be Zero Resified. So it's time to call the cleaning pros at Zero Res. They have awesome technicians. They always walk you through the entire cleaning process. They give you options as well. I mean, I have pet accidents occasionally at my home, and they have great bio treatments for that. Through the month of August, here's the offer for Mark Reardon Show listeners. When you mention my name or 97.1 FM Talk, 3 rooms starting at $129. Also, get the air ducts cleaned, and you can take $75 off air duct cleaning with Zero Res during August. Don't forget about cleaning that dryer vent, too. Zero Res has a 4.9 Google rating with over 4,700 reviews and a legendary 30-day Gotta Love It guarantee. Schedule your appointment today at ZeroResSTL.com or call 314-474-2020. Ask for the Mark Reardon 97.1 FM Talk special. You spell it backward or forward, it spells the same. Zero Res.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Never
never supposed to happen in America. Fox News, I'm Therese Crowley. Donald Trump's response to his third pre-election arraignment, and today calling it election interference.
The former president stood and pleaded not guilty to 4 criminal charges stemming from his alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election results, including conspiracy to defraud the United States, conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding, obstruction of an official proceeding, and conspiracy against rights. He was released on his own recognizance into the care of a high-security Secret Service escort. He was whisked from an underground courthouse garage to the airport and spoke out before returning to New Jersey.
This is a very sad day for America. This is the persecution of the person that's leading by very, very substantial numbers in the Republican primary and leading Biden by a lot.
Former President Trump shared on Truth Social, quote, "I need one more indictment to ensure my election."
A group of House Democrats who impeached Donald Trump, led by Adam Schiff, are calling on the Judicial Conference to authorize live broadcast of the court proceedings on Trump's federal trial. And a transcript of Devon Archer's interview with House investigators raising new questions about Joe and Hunter Biden's foreign influence for personal gain.
It focuses a great deal on, quote, the brand. Devon Archer told the House Oversight Committee the brand was the Biden family, and that delivered value to Burisma. In the transcript, Archer said Ukrainian natural gas oligarch Mykola Zlochevsky faced, quote, pressure from Ukrainian authorities during an investigation. Archer said they wanted Hunter Biden to help relieve some of that pressure. Archer said the Biden name was key to the survival of Burisma. Archer told House investigators that, quote, people would be intimidated to mess with Burisma because of the brand, the Biden name.
Fox's Chad Pergram. America is listening to Fox News.
Here's something you've never heard before.
Stop. This is Simply Safe.
Introducing 24/7 Lifeguard Protection, only from Simply Safe Home Security. Now, monitoring agents can see and speak to intruders through our new indoor camera to help stop crime in real time and for fast police response. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. Advanced Home Security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
It's not the heat, but it surely is the humidity. Very, very soupy atmosphere out there. Partly sunny skies, a couple of scattered showers and thunderstorms. Struggle, but we could hit 92. Tonight, clouds dominate, a batch of showers and thunderstorms after midnight, 72. The weekend, identical. Saturday, partly sunny, very humid, scattered thunderstorms and 89. Do that again on Sunday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
97.1 FM Talk. You're here because ideas change the world. St. Louis is home for conservative talk. This is 97.1 FM Talk.
Ron had a tax problem he just couldn't handle on his own.
I owed the IRS taxes for over 5 years, but I didn't have any money to pay the taxes.
Those years cost him dearly.
Most of it was fees and interest. It was horrible.
Ron finally called in the pros.
I called Optima Tax Relief, and boy, am I happy I did.
The leading tax resolution firm, Optima, is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. They've resolved over $1 billion for their clients. Ron was overjoyed.
They settled my account with IRS. I was ecstatic. They are a lifesaver. They are. I am so happy.
Take Ron's advice and call Optima now for a free consultation.
Yeah, don't do like I did and wait. Call Optima Tax Relief. Do it now. You'll be ecstatic like me.
Call 800-987-6122. 800-987-6122. 800-987-6122.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars and lose the weight guaranteed. Early bird specials at $49.99. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings, late day eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Also stop smoking with Mark Patrick. No matter how many times you try to quit, this hypnosis is designed to destroy your desire to smoke without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Seminars Saturday, August 15th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites St. Louis Airport in St. Louis. And Sunday, August 6th at the 4 Points by Sheraton St. Louis, Fairview Heights in Fairview Heights. Weight loss seminar, 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar, 2 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
This weekend, the hottest hot tub sale and swim spa deals are at St. Louis Premium Outlet Mall. 3 days only. Every hot tub and swim spa must go up to 50% off. Hurry, the clock is ticking. Only at St. Louis Premium Outlet Mall in Chesterfield. Sale ends this weekend. EliteSpaSales.com.
Mark Reardon sees clearly thanks to Doctors Birdie and Maholtred Ophthalmology Associates. You can too. Go to yourEyeDoc.com today. That's yourEyeDoc.com or call 314-966-5000. Ophthalmology Associates.
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
So it's Mike Elam in for Annie Frey today. Hope your Friday is starting off well. At least it's not 100 degrees outside like it was last week. I'm feeling much more positive about that.
It was incredibly muggy this morning, though.
Oh, I opened the door this morning to let my dog out, and it was like, wow, that's a sauna.
Yeah.
That just hit me. You had all that condensation on the door because we had the air conditioner going, of course, and then all of that stuff just hit that air conditioning. And, oh, it was horrible. Hey, by the way, we're still looking for your questions on Ask Me Anything. You can go into the live chat, post your questions there. Brad is going to earmark some of those that we can come back and we can answer. While you're there, answer our live chat poll of the day. What is the acceptable amount of time to wear your jeans before washing them? Once, a couple of days, a week, or you're really stinky? Or labeled as or more. I mean, come on. If you're going to wear your jeans for over a month and you're not going to wash them, that's
like putting your thumb on the scale here, Mike.
I'm just saying we need to talk, right? We've got issues. We need to talk. Hey, this weekend, starting at midnight tonight, actually kicked off the sales tax holiday for the weekend in the state of Missouri. 17 states around the country actually have a sales tax holiday. But I think a lot of people have gotten frustrated over the years because communities started opting out. And when they started going shopping, they started cherry-picking communities and saying, well, I think Chesterfield's in it, or maybe Baldwin, St. Peter's, I don't know. So they really just kind of said, it doesn't matter anymore. So the sales tax holiday just really didn't have the same sizzle that it used to have. Well, enter Senator Andrew Koenig, Missouri State Senator, lives down in Manchester. He said, we need to do something about that. And he joins us on the phone right now. Senator, thank you very much for spending some time with us today. Hope your Friday is starting off well.
It's going well. Thank you for having me.
Hey, tell me a little bit about what got you involved in promoting a sales tax holiday that really is a sales tax holiday for all.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, I have a long history. I've been chair of cutting taxes. I was chair of Ways and Means 6 years in the House, 4 years in the Senate. And in fact, no one has cut more taxes than I have probably in the history of the state of Missouri. And one of the tax cut bills I passed, I also believe in having a simple tax code, one that businesses and consumers can understand. So my thought was, if we're going to have a sales tax holiday, every taxing jurisdiction needs to be a part of it. And so that's exactly what I did in one of the tax bills I passed in 2021, and it's just now getting implemented right now.
Government moves at the speed of sound, huh? That's
right.
Sometimes that's how it works. But I appreciate that, because I think a lot of people, like I was saying, got frustrated about it because they didn't know who was in.
Yeah, that's right. We have hundreds of taxing districts across this state. I heard businesses didn't even know if what taxing jurisdictions were in versus ones that were out. You have these special taxing districts. That's one reason why our sales tax is so high in many places, is because they skirt around the Constitution. The Constitution says you have to have a vote of the people in order to increase the tax in Missouri. And what some of these districts have done is they've drawn these districts with no voters. They increase the taxes, without a vote of the people, which I believe is a violation of our Constitution. I actually did pass a bill that would require a vote of the entire city. There's from 2010 to 2020, we had a 1,100% growth in sales tax revenue. So these taxes are getting increased with no accountability. And so I did pass that bill, but unfortunately it was vetoed.
Well, you had a lot of people who started cherry picking, I think, where they were shopping and trying to figure out, who's in, who's out. The counties were opting out. The cities were opting out. But your bill said, hey, no more. Moving forward, everybody has to participate. You cannot opt out. And what was the big thing that made you say, this is something that needs to be addressed? Did people bring this idea to you? Did you just get frustrated with your family about this whole thing? What kind of led you there?
It was definitely a frustration, but the idea came from a Supreme Court case, U.S. Supreme Court case, that said that you have to have your sales tax code simple, easy for people to understand, easy for businesses to comply with. And so now I want to cut taxes, but I also want a simple tax code. And Missouri has a very complicated sales tax code. And so I said one way to simple it is make sure that when we have a sales tax holiday, every entity has to participate. They don't have a choice.
One of the things that I like about a sales tax holiday is it really levels the playing field for our small businesses. If you're a local small business, it gives you the opportunity to go compete with internet businesses that a lot of times get a free pass. And I'm one of those guys who feels like small business is the backbone of our community. And as our small business community goes, so goes our community. So you've got to do something to make sure that our small businesses stay healthy and keep growing. And I think the sales tax holiday really gives them a chance to reach out there and get those local customers to come use their business.
Yeah, that's right. We want those purchases made in Missouri. We want Missouri businesses to thrive in this state. And so that's why I was very glad that we were able to pass this in 2021 and it just now getting implemented this year.
Well, Senator, can I talk to you a little bit about the Senate and about your future plans?
Yes.
So you have been a loud voice in the Missouri Senate. I think that's safe to say. You've been there for the last 7 years. Obviously, you were talking about you were in the House before that. And you've been a guy that has been very outspoken about how you think things need to be. But you're going to be terming out next year. And you've decided that you are going to throw your hat in the ring for Missouri Treasurer. I was just curious, what led you to that particular office?
Sure. Yeah. I think what we need is in this state, if we want to thrive and prosper like the state of Florida or Texas or Tennessee, we need a bold conservatives in our statewide offices, and I think I can bring that. Last year, I had a 100% rating from our friends at CPAC. I have a strong conservative record. I'm bold. No one has cut more taxes than I have. I filed the heartbeat bill and eliminated abortion in the state of Missouri. And I want to bring those principles to the state treasurer's office. Now, I also passed the first school choice bill in Missouri's history, and the state treasurer is the one that manages and promulgates rules for that program. We have schools in this state where there's not a single child proficient in English and math, and I believe those kids deserve another option to go to another school. I know I would if I had a kid that had to go to one of those schools. So as state treasurer, I'd want to work on that. Also, the state treasurer is in charge of investing all of the money for the state of Missouri, billions of dollars. What we've seen is the far left is taking over our institutions. They're taking over our corporations through ESG, environmental social governance. And I can use the full force of the state treasurer's office to fight against that. They are, like I said, in their schools, they're trying to trans our kids. In the corporations, they're trying to outlaw oil and gas from being used. They're trying to say you can't invest in these type of businesses. The NASDAQ has made it so that way you have to have an LGBTQ plus type person on the board, and that's why you see some of these corporations moving to the left. I believe it's a violation of their fiduciary responsibility to their shareholders, and as state treasurer, I will be bold to fight against that.
You know, it seems like we're going to see a change in the Missouri Senate. A lot of big voices. You are moving on for treasurer. Obviously, you have one more year, right? So we've got next session that's going to be there. Senator Eigel from St. Charles is announced that he's running for governor. We have some others who are running for lieutenant governor. There's going to be some changes coming up in the next couple of years of Senate, but you've got a lot of folks who are moving on to these other offices. Where do you think the future of Missouri is going from a political standpoint? Do you think we're going to be a more conservative state? Do you see us going the other way?
No. So, I mean, we used to be a purple state not too long ago. When I was first came into the legislature, we were, we had all the statewide were held by Democrats, but Missouri is moving to become a red state, a solidly deep red state. And we need strong conservative leadership from the governor's office down to the state treasurer's office, and then also in the Senate and the House. And I think I can be a big part of that.
So as you're looking at the big challenges from the treasurer's office, you've laid out a lot of them. Do you also, and I should know this, I apologize for not knowing this, do you also do the investment program for Missouri's 529 program?
Yes.
So where do you see the future of that program going?
So we're going to make sure that anybody that is involved in that program, that they are not going to be involved in ESG. So like I said, we're going to fight hard against ESG. I'm going to work with the legislature to expand the ESA program to make sure all kids have access to education. This year in the legislature, I'm going to file a parental bill of rights. Hopefully I can get that across the finish line and really support parents' rights.
We're talking to Senator Andrew Koenig of the Missouri State Senate from Manchester, Senate District 15, correct?
Correct.
He is also running for Missouri Treasurer. Hey, Senator, I've only got a couple of minutes here, and I really appreciate you taking some time on a Friday afternoon to talk with us, especially last minute. So thank you very much for that. Can you give me a preview of what do you think, two things. One, how do you think veto session is going to go coming up? That's September, correct?
Correct.
So next month's veto session, and then looking over the perimeter into 24, where do you think the session's going to go in 24?
Sure, yeah. So on veto session, there was a lot of budget bills that were vetoed, some related to some crime stuff as well. I would think that there could be some veto overrides on some of those budgetary items. When it comes to this session, what the number one priority should be initiative petition reform. The liberal groups are coming into the state spending millions of dollars trying to do stuff that they just simply can't get through the legislature. And a lot of these are outside groups, whether it's ranked choice voting or dealing with abortion. And so we need to protect our Constitution from the far left, and that should be our number one priority. I'm fully expecting to try to pass a parental Bill of Rights bill. And so those are probably the top two.
Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate your voice in the Senate. Good luck in the treasurer's race. I know when you run into 2024 type elections where you've got the governor up, the lieutenant governor, a lot of statewide offices that are up, it's a crazy time to run, especially when you have we have a Senate office that's going to be up with Senator Hawley that's there, of course, the House, and then the presidential race. I know it's going to be tough to find oxygen in the air to be able to run for treasurer. So we wanted to give you the opportunity to talk a little bit about that, and because it's a very important office that just doesn't get as much airtime, but it's something that Missourians need to be concerned about, and they need to do their research on who's running for that. So, Senator, we appreciate you taking some time with us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. You can go to electandrewkoenig.com or follow me on Twitter at Koenig4Mo, and then also find me on Facebook.
We appreciate it, Senator. Have a great weekend. Hope you get out and you get some sales tax holiday deals this weekend.
Sounds good.
If you're looking for sales tax deals, by the way, you can buy. So clothing is available, any taxable value of $100 or less. School supplies not to exceed $50. Computer software, $350 or less. You can get a new personal computer not to exceed $1,500. Computer peripheral devices not to exceed $1,500. And graphing calculators, which are huge in the radio industry. Right, Brad?
Yeah. I always need graphing calculators.
I don't even know what that is, but you know.
My wife actually needs graphing calculators. She's a math teacher.
Oh, well, that makes perfect sense. I got a communications degree, and only because you just didn't talk, right? There was very little math involved in that. What is involved on this radio station in just a few minutes is Ask Me Anything. If you have not sent your question in yet, then get online, send us your question, and we want to play this game that I'm excited and scared about all at the same time. I love coming in and you have these things that I haven't been a part of before. So trying new things.
Baptism by fire, Mike. Here we
go. Southern Baptist boys love baptism. So that works really, really well. My name is Mike Elam, sitting in for Annie Frey today. Hope your Friday is going very, very well. Thanks for listening to St. Louis's home for conservative talk, 97.1 FM Talk.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Instagram at The Annie Frey Show.
Has anyone seen Roger? Where's Roger? It's time to open the jewelry store.
Where is everyone?
Did they all take the day off?
At traditional jewelry stores everywhere, employees are quiet quitting and going to Diamonds Direct. Not just to work, but to shop. That's because even with employee discounts, Diamonds Direct offers all shoppers better selection and much better value. As a true direct importer of diamonds, Diamonds Direct has long-standing relationships deep in the world diamond industry, as well as the best diamond cutters across the globe, so they can say the quiet part out loud without the middleman markups. Diamonds Direct offers customers bigger, higher quality diamonds at a lower cost every day. Not to mention the best selection, the best customer service, best warranties, and best overall experience.
Hello.
Quiet quit paying too much for your diamonds. Go to Diamonds Direct. You won't be alone in how happy you are. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Get details, directions, showroom hours, and more at diamondsdirect.com.
You want to retire soon, but everyone keeps telling you to wait until you're 65. After all, that's the age that you qualify for Medicare and you're close to full retirement age. I'm Marvin Mitchell, president of Compass Retirement Solutions. In my new book, Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65, I discuss proper planning to help make early retirement possible. When to take Social Security, what to do with your 401k, health care, how to maximize retirement income, and much more. Get a complimentary copy of Retire Early by calling 1-800-743-8510. That's 1-800-743-8510. Can you retire early? Call 1-800-743-8510 for your copy of Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65.
Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois. Compass Retirement Solutions is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands to treat ED at up to 95% off. That's right, the same active ingredient as the brand name for 95% less. It's the same ED medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/radio. That's 4hims.com/radio for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/RADIO.
Did you know the IRS is a super creditor? Hi, I'm Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. The IRS is the only creditor that can create a bill for you without your permission, then drop the hammer and aggressively collect it by wiping out your bank account, seizing your assets, and levying your wages. No other creditor can do that, and this can all happen without a court approval. If you owe back taxes, you need to be prepared to face the super creditor. Don't just sit back and take it. Fight back. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, we know how to use the laws to your advantage and go toe-to-toe with the IRS. Our office is located right here in St. Louis. Contact the Lance Drury Law Firm today for a free consultation with me, or visit us at lancedrurylaw.com or call 314-260-6120. That's 314-260-6120 to get started.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
The Mark Reardon Show.
My friend Gary Stromberg went on tour with the Rolling Stones in 1972, and he's got a brand new podcast talking about that tour. It did stop in St. Louis. He joins me at 5:07 Friday night.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
I was waiting for them to kick in, but I was a bar too early for that to happen.
I think you're waiting on the radio edit, and this is probably the regular.
I think you're right. So here we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, and you already turned it down. So never mind. Hey, it's Mike Elam for Annie Frey today. We have got a studio full of folks here. Do you want to introduce everybody who's playing with us today?
All right, yeah, we got Ethan, who's our producer,
hey.
And he's filling in today for Hannah. And then we got Anna. She's the digital queen. She makes all the cool digital stuff happen.
And we have Brad, and we have Ryan, and we have Mike.
They're listening to the show. They all know that.
I just wanted to make sure. Well, you've been in and out, so I wanted to make sure that people knew you were back for this.
People know Ryan's here all the time.
So, Anna, what do you do? You're the digital queen, so explain a little bit more about digital queen.
Yeah, so I do a lot of videos for our station, other stations here, and social media and graphics and just kind of whatever anybody needs.
I always see you just sitting over the corner, and I didn't want to bug you because you look focused. I'm just trying to stay out of the way.
She's also a supplier of Nutter Butters.
Yeah, apparently.
But she's in here because she's going to kick off our very first question of Ask Me Anything.
You have to ask me nicely.
Don't make me beg here.
Ask me anything.
Tell me the truth!
All right, Anna. What'd you do last night?
So, I went to the Nickelback concert.
Oh, yeah, at Hollywood Casino?
Yeah.
I didn't even know they were here.
Did you hear about it?
I heard about that just a few minutes ago when I was outside the studio.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
And so I got tickets from one of our sister stations here, and I was in charge of leading one of our listeners through, and he was able to go on stage during Rockstar.
Really?
Yes, and he brought a whole bag of props. He had a wig, he had glasses, he took his shirt off.
Fantastic.
It was quite a show. But we also got meet and greets, and so we got to meet the band beforehand. And while we were back there, we met people that worked for Nickelback, and they were like, oh, well, do you guys want to stay and get a drink? And so we stayed with them and drank a little bit, and then they took us to front of the house, and we got to watch the concert from there. And then they took us backstage. We got to watch the concert from backstage, which was really cool. And then we got to party with the 2 openers afterwards, and it was really cool. I'm blanking on the
Way to
first
put her on the
guy's
spot.
name.
Nice job.
That's okay. I mean,
she just
they're the
said we
openers.
were drinking with the band, which means she probably doesn't remember.
One of the openers was Brantley Gilbert.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Brantley Gilbert was with Nickelback?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't expect
He
that.
was really sweet.
So country guy.
I thought you were being facetious for a second.
No. I know.
Because I don't know the name.
It was not a B story. It was an actual truth.
But so we were kind of with everybody in the openers' green rooms afterward, and there was a lot of people in there.
Were they really green?
And no, they were not green. And
Fake story.
That joke
apparently Nickelback thought we were being too loud, and so
Really?
they had to send somebody over and tell us to be quiet.
The rock band told you guys to be quiet. It's like, you guys are too loud. It's like, oh, you guys are getting old.
This explains why
Yeah.
people make fun of
On your
Nickelback.
2 truths and a lie. That's got
Exactly.
That is a good
Oh, that is.
two-truths and a
Yeah.
lie.
I was partying with an opening band, and Nickelback came over and said you were being too loud.
At the Nickelback show.
At the Nickelback show.
How would you like to be the headliner and be like, man, the people backstage are partying without us, and they are interrupting our show?
You're you're being too loud. We're trying to get ready for our rock show.
How did Nickelback tell somebody to tell you? Did they stop?
Like somebody walked into the room and was like, "Hey, like."
Yeah, but how did Chad Kroger, or whatever his name is, how did he tell somebody to tell you?
I don't know. I
She
don't
was
know.
just on the receiving end. She wasn't there for the first part.
Like, are they saying it at the show? Man, I don't know if you can hear us, but we can't hear us because of backstage. Somebody has to deal with these people.
I mean, the room that we were in was teeny, and there was probably 20, 30 people in
No,
there.
hang
So-
on. Nickelback wasn't on stage when they sent somebody back, were
No,
they?
they were
Oh,
on
that's
stage.
what I thought was going
okay.
on. Okay.
No, I'm like, hang on. Those guys have got
I thought
earbuds
they
in
were
at that point.
performing and like,
no.
look, we're being overshadowed by the
No.
backstage party.
They were getting mentally prepared for their rock show in St. Louis.
The green room was singing along too loudly.
That's it. Like, no. Hey, shut up a little bit.
That
All right, so
photograph.
I can't even hear myself.
I was trying to look at this photograph, but you're being too loud. I couldn't see the picture. So how long did this whole debauchery go on this last evening?
I got home around 3 a.m.
No way.
The concert ended around 11.
Oh my
I think.
gosh. Wow.
Yeah.
Now, hang on. Did you stay at, what's it called now? It's not Riverport. What's it?
Hollywood Casino Amphitheater.
Yeah.
Thank you. So were you there the whole time?
We were there the whole time.
Wow.
Do you sleep at all?
Barely. I mean, pretty much no.
Thank God it's Friday.
Hold it.
I know.
Did you wash your jeans before you came in here? Never mind. That's a different segment. We'll get into a little bit later
Wow.
on.
So, Mike, what did you do last night?
So last night I went. Where was I? Hold it. Hold, please. This is what happens when you get old.
Whatever it was, it clearly wasn't that important.
It wasn't as cool as Nickelback.
So no, I was thinking about the night before. I went to a different meeting, but last night I came home. I got my hair cut because I'm married to a hairstylist, and you would think having a hair salon in my basement, I could get my hair cut whenever I want. I mean, there's not a lot to do here, right? So this is a 15-minute deal, and that includes start to finish, right? So got a haircut last night, ate some dinner, and was in bed literally at 8:45. So before Nickelback took the stage,
Yeah.
I was asleep. I woke up the day before at 3:30 in the morning, and I couldn't go back to sleep. And by the time I hit about 8:30, I hit a wall and was just like, I'm done.
Wow. Good story.
Thanks.
Round of applause for Anna, who can't stick around because she has a shoot at 2.
I do.
Hey.
I do.
Anna, thank you very
Thank
much
you
for
for the
bringing
story.
some
Of course.
excitement to the old guy.
I can answer that question about what we did last night.
What did you do
so
last
I
night?
had Cardinals tickets last night. I got to go to the Champions Club, which if you guys
I
ever
love
get
the Champions Club.
If you ever get the opportunity, I 100% recommend it. It's almost like it's a sports bar attached to a baseball game.
It is.
But it's all-inclusive tickets, all you can eat, all you can drink, all that stuff's all included. Took a couple friends up there. But when we sat down in the seating section, so they've got like the bar section, the where the buffets and all that stuff are. They've got that. It's like a restaurant. And then you come out the window and you sit down.
Outside seats.
Yeah. So while we're sitting out in the outside seats watching the game, this guy comes out and he sits down in front of us, and he has a James Nail jersey on. Who James Nail is a bullpen pitcher for the Cardinals, number 68. So if you know baseball, you got the number 68. That's a high number. It's not necessarily one of the players that is like high on the team.
You gotta buy that custom jersey.
Right. That's not a jersey that's readily available.
I'm going to guess you know him.
Well, I didn't, but...
No, the person who has the jersey on.
So I'm watching him, and he's like, da-da-da-da-da. So I got talking to him a little bit later on in the game, and he's like, and we were talking about the team and the team's performance. He goes, and I said, like, it's hard for people to come out whenever the team's not performing well. He goes, yeah, unless you got a vested interest. I was like, I bet you got a vested interest. I said, how are you related to him? And he's like, he's my brother.
Oh, very cool.
So what was really cool about this is I like to watch people watch their family members play sports. And James Nail got up, started warming up, and we're like, oh, he's going to come in.
Pitch.
And then they brought in Thompson, and so he didn't pitch. But then in the ninth inning, they brought him in, and he got to pitch, and I got to watch that. And it was really cool to watch this guy and hear the stories that he had about how his brother is. And, you know, he's a local guy, so he's a Sykeston, Missouri is where Nail is from. And so he got to come up and play with the team and who his friends are and, like, meeting different people on the team. And it's just really cool to meet a family member of a player and that unique experience.
That is very nice. Mr. Wiggins.
I went to bed at 8:30 because I was sick.
That's true. Okay.
And I woke up at 8:30 also.
Oh, nice.
And missed my hit on the Mark Cox Morning Show.
Oh.
Which is fine. Mark told me it was fine.
Yeah.
I think he didn't want to be around me anyway.
It's more of an exhale.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was going to be, I thought your hit was remote, but no, you were supposed to be in the studio.
No, I usually come to the studio. I will call sometimes if I can't make it to studio, but I didn't do it at all. Actually, it was kind of like halfway planned that I was not going to do it, but I will say that your story reminded me, and because I want to tell this before Ethan, because Ethan's at the ballpark all the time, and you come up with your best ballpark story because you're going to beat all of us, and you have to now.
No pressure.
I was in one of those boxes once. I got free tickets from somebody, I don't remember.
Yep.
And I was in a Cardinals box. And I'd been in a box a few times, so I didn't realize this one was like, no, this is like the Cardinals box.
He was in a Cardinals box instead of just a cardboard box.
Yes, exactly. And I was begging for change just the same as I always do. And I'm walking around, and I meet this guy sitting at the bar of the little box. And I'm like, oh, wow, he's got a little pin on that says, like, lifetime member or something. And I'm like, oh, lifetime member. I'm like, how do you get one of those? And he goes, he didn't even like turn. He kind of looks up at me. He goes, you got to play. I'm like, oh, like the game of baseball? As in you played for the Cardinals?
You did not.
And he goes, yeah. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's cool, man. Yeah, of course I knew who you were. And I walked away and I called my dad and I'm like, Dad, who's Glenn Brummer?
You did not.
Yeah, I did. And it was before I was born. I didn't know.
Oh.
And he told me about basically the slide.
Yeah.
You know, the famous moment for Glenn Brummer. And so I've never forgot it since. And I went back up to him and was like, hey, Glenn Brummer. And just like I knew everything.
Yeah. Here I'm just going to throw up all over you in your history.
Excuse
that you
me,
know.
I got to go use the restroom.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's fun.
When I come back, I discovered Google, and now I know who you are.
Right. Yeah, like I really fooled him, too.
Yeah. Go away, kid. You're bugging me.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah. So,
all right, Ethan. So
there you go.
I guess Ryan already gave you, what is your most interesting ballpark story?
Yeah, so
Can you pull that closer to you, by the way?
So for backstory, I work for the Cardinals. I work in the radio booth. I'm the radio booth assistant. So
way to drop an Amy.
Yeah. So
hold it. Do you know my son?
I'm sorry.
Do you know my son?
What's his name?
John Elam.
That name sounds familiar.
He works on the broadcast, or he works on the scoreboard crew.
Okay, then
Never
I
mind.
probably
Sorry.
have ran into him before. So earlier in the series, so Ricky Horton, one of the Cardinals broadcasters, is buddies with Minnesota Twins broadcaster Dan Gladden, and we had him on for one of our pregame segments, our Inside the Park segment. And the funny thing about those two is that they played against one another in the 1987 World Series.
Yes.
So the Twins, being an interleague team, they don't come to town very often. So it was a little bit of banter between these two. Gladden had an RBI double in that World Series off of Ricky. So there was a little bit of, hey, go and find out what the stats were, like while recording this segment. And so at the end of this segment, I hand my computer to Ricky showing what he did. He's like, apparently you had an RBI double off me in game 1. It was really funny.
They didn't remember it?
They didn't remember.
Oh,
so
that is funny.
It was really funny watching the banter between those two. But there's all kinds of fun stuff like that every night that you get to see. But that was pretty entertaining.
I get the idea in listening to Ricky Horton that he remembers everyone who ever got a hit off of him ever, because he'll be talking about the fact of, oh yeah, well, I remember he cracked a 3-run homer off me in the such and such game, and I'm like, maybe he just remembers the home runs or the big home runs of, yeah, that was the homer that ended my career. So that was fun.
He talks lowly on himself in that way.
He really does.
As far as his pitching career goes.
He seems like a great guy, though.
He's amazing. Love working with him. He's an absolute blast. Yes.
We kind of burned through that part already, didn't we?
What's that? That segment?
Yeah.
We did. We can do another segment if you want. We got some questions.
I started to say, can we continue this on the other side?
For sure.
All right. So we're going to take a break here. We will come back. If you have not got your questions in for Ask Me Anything, get your questions in. I know we really went Nickelback crazy for a second, but hey, it's Nickelback. Why wouldn't you? I'm just kidding.
It's just what you do.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you handle Nickelback. If you haven't logged in on the YouTube live chat poll yet, what is the acceptable amount of time to wear jeans before washing them once, a couple days a week, or more? Log in on that. We will get to Ask Me Anything, Volume 2. On the other side, it's the Annie Frey Show. My name is Mike Elam. This is 97.1 FM Talk.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @AnnieFryShow.
Building a home, especially on the Illinois side of the river, is an incredibly exciting thing to do, but it can be pretty stressful. That's why I recommend people who are looking to build, especially if you've been looking at the market and you're like, there's nothing out there that I want, and you want to build with C.A. Jones. You can go online to cajonesinc.com, cajonesinc.com. They are improving lives through quality homes and community involvement. They provide a 10-year builder limited warranty that includes a lifetime waterproof basement warranty. They have the largest inventory of new construction homes for sale right now on that website at cajonesinc.com. Go check those out right now. But they work very hard to make your homes energy efficient, to make you comfortable through the process where you don't have surprises popping up through the build process. They make a commitment to you to make this a positive experience with a house they're going to build for you that's going to become a home that you are going to absolutely love. Check out the new home inventory on their website and how to build by going to cajonesinc.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
I'm Jim Onder. No one should be injured or be the victim of assault when using a rideshare service. These companies need to be held accountable.
Onder Law. Call 314 or 618-9000 to learn more.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
Babbel's interactive lessons are created by real language teachers and voiced by real native speakers using a modern conversation-based method. So in no time, you can start speaking confidently about real-life topics in another language.
Nosotras vamos a México en 2 días y ahora hablamos español.
Gracias, Babbel.
Sí, muchas gracias.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at babbel.com. Just go to babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
You can still get your questions in for Ask Me Anything. We're doing another segment here just shortly, so get on our Annie Frey Show YouTube live chat or any of our chats and let us know. We'll star them, and we will ask them if we like them. It is 1:44. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
Awesome. That's what I'm talking about.
97.1 FM Talk.
I look forward to hearing the station all day.
Everyone is welcome. You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
For a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down.
It's the Annie Frey Show. My name is Mike Elam, sitting in for Annie today. Hope your Friday is going well. We are doing Ask Me Anything, which is a segment that we have right now. Ethan has joined us. Obviously, Brad and Wiggins are in the studio. What's the next question that we are coming up to? If you haven't got yours in, you still got time to get it in.
Yeah,
Brad,
I'm going to pull one off the chat here.
Uh-huh.
Amanda Rankin wants to know who's picking music today since Hannah's not here. And
What's up, Amanda?
She said he's doing a great job.
So we know why he picked that, because he was.
So who's picking music today?
That would be me.
Yay!
So that's Ethan. Ethan's doing a wonderful job. I really appreciate it, Ethan. You've been a huge help today.
Oh, of course.
Ryan, you got a question for us?
Yeah, I do, and I would really like to hear especially what Mike has to say about this. Is Missouri as a state, not locally, but as a state?
As a state.
Is Missouri doing enough to push? It's a Republican supermajority at this point, isn't it?
It is.
Are they pushing enough to get enough done with that supermajority? Is Missouri being aggressive enough with what they've been given?
Do you have a particular area that you're thinking
No, not
of, or
really.
just
No,
in general?
just in general.
So I would say no. I would say, and Andrew Koenig, who was on with us earlier in the hour, he is one of the folks who were part of the conservative caucus and really trying to push the envelope on that. Bob Onder was part of that, Senator Eigel, some other folks who were part of that. But I think there's a lot more that Missouri could do. So not to be a homer and to be a little heavier than what this segment feels like it probably is meant to be. But so I talked about the fact when I was filling in once before about Missouri getting $1.736 billion for internet expansion throughout the state, right? It's because broadband is a really big deal if you're going to connect everybody. I think Missouri is missing the boat on manufacturing and transportation logistics. We should be the number one state in America, because you can make something and get it to anywhere in the continental United States from here, from Missouri, within about 3 hours.
That's impressive.
It makes perfect sense.
You got a Kansas City airport, you got a St. Louis airport. Both of them could have some expansion and some things that you could do there. But the heart of Missouri is built for manufacturing. Class A rail, interstate highway, we can get some stuff around the country. And if Missouri would focus on manufacturing, I think that's a way that we could really boom.
How would we do that through policy?
Well, you're going to have to make it attractive for those companies to choose Missouri, which means you're going to have to do some infrastructure work, and you're going to have to lay the infrastructure to attract those communities. There is no reason why an Elon Musk has to pick a Texas to go build his factory when he could have picked St. Louis. He very well could have picked St. Louis, and we could be that type of hub for the United States of America. We are built for it.
When you say St. Louis,
I mean, I said Missouri.
Yeah. I just don't picture a lot of companies moving to downtown St. Louis right now with the business climate here.
No.
I could see Chesterfield.
I don't think they're going to move to St. Louis. I didn't say St. Louis. You asked me, is Missouri?
Yeah.
This is a state question, not a regional question.
Yeah.
Outstate Missouri has a ton of area, green space, that you can build a huge manufacturing plant. We were just talking about Boeing building a 1 million square foot manufacturing plant, right?
Exactly.
We could do that in all kinds of places all across mid-Missouri. And you can run your stuff down 44, down 55, down 70. You can put it on Class A rail, ship it anywhere. You can fly it through St. Louis or Kansas City. You can get some stuff to around the country from Missouri.
Ethan, you got a question for us?
Yeah, I do. So I'm going to flip back to the sports talk here. So the Cardinals.
Go with your gut.
The Cardinals, obviously, it hasn't been a great season for them, if you hadn't heard. But the Cardinals, right, have a history of consistently being within reach of either the playoffs, of kind of being in the talks of championship contender, right?
We're always in the hunt.
We are. Then you got your teams like, if you look back, the Cubs, the Pirates, even the Astros, right, where you have really bad for several years while they rebuild. And then they get to that point where they have several years of being really good. And some teams are lucky enough to win a championship in that. So I ask you, for your go-to team over the next 10 years, would you rather them be in a spot where the Cardinals find themselves, where they're, over the next 10 years, not a guarantee of winning a championship, but they're going to be in the mix, or have a team that is, over the next 10 years, let's say 7 or 8 of them are not going to be good, but you're going to get a world title in there? What would you rather have?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah, I'll go first on this one. I'm going to take I would rather my team be good over that entire stretch of time, because even if you're not guaranteed a shot at the title, not guaranteed a title, you're guaranteed a shot at it. I mean, the crazy thing is once you get into the playoffs, anything can happen. We saw that. I think that was 2006. The team was not
83 wins.
Yeah, an 83 win team, and then they got hot and they went and they won the World Series. So, yeah.
Well, saying with 2011. I mean, they were not even going to make the playoffs.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Stuff. That was the big rally.
The Braves had an implosion, and the Cardinals had an explosion, and it worked out well.
Exactly. And so, yeah, I would take that, because it's always more fun to watch your team play in the hunt than it is to sit through it and go, well, I'm just going to sit here for 7 years waiting for them to, not get good, or they're going to be bad. I think that's bad for a team. Right. I think that's bad for a franchise. I'd rather have the excellence for
it actually
longevity.
drives me crazy, the teams that do that, where they spend several years rebuilding, and then they're good for a few. It just
all right, we're gonna tear down again.
Yeah, because it's cyclical, because it constantly you constantly basically are going like for the sugar high of okay, we put it together for right now, but we know it won't last.
Right.
It's almost like a hopeless situation where you're like, we better enjoy this. Whereas with the Cardinals, the way they typically do it is you always know they're kind of going to be around. This season, Brad and I have discussed this many times, that up until the trade deadline, I kept saying, man, I think it's good this year that they're actually bad, because they're always kind of there and maybe they don't make it. And this year we know for sure they can just say, okay, we're going to do 1 year where we can trade off some assets, do some rebuilding, because they never really, they're always kind of too in the middle to do that. I was glad to see 1 year where they could.
I think it also makes it real too. Like, okay, we need to replenish. We need to
add
things.
Yeah,
to
it
get
gets
to
everybody
that point of competing.
more jazzed up to be like, oh, we have to take this seriously.
Right.
Yeah.
We've been good enough to where we could compete and we didn't have to go to the extremes. This year, it finally came home.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
What's next?
You got another question for us, Mike?
So my question is, what's the cheesiest joke you've ever heard?
Oh, man,
now,
you're going to kill us on these.
Well, mind you, for those of you who don't know, every day I post a dad joke on my Facebook page. So you can go to my Facebook page and you will see a litany of just horrible, horrible jokes. Ones that you can tell your friends and they will go, that was bad. So do you have any that come to mind that you just go, that was really stupid?
I've got one, and I'll tell it here.
Go ahead.
So a string walks into a bar, and he goes up to the bar, and the bartender looks at him and says, you, string, we don't serve your kind here. The string's like, what? He's like, we don't serve strings here. So the string goes outside, and he, twists himself up and crosses himself over and bundles himself all up, and then he reaches up top, and he messes up his hair, and he goes back in the bar, and the bartender's like, hey, aren't you that string that was just in here and I told to get out? And he said, no, I'm afraid not.
Boom.
Yikes.
A single hand.
You asked for a cringy joke. That's what you got.
That's a cringy joke.
You nailed it.
Wiggins, do you have one?
I've got one that I tell my kids every now and then, and they usually forget, so I bring it back up.
Okay.
That's teaching them about timing in jokes. I'm like, listen, kids, I'm going to teach you about timing.
I know where this is going.
Do you?
I do.
Interrupting cow? Do you know? So I'll say,
don't stop.
Knock,
Keep going.
knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cow.
Interrupting cow who?
Moo.
Because it's timing.
Timing's everything, kids.
Timing's everything. So here you go, Ethan. You'll appreciate this. So this was my joke from a few days ago. I wonder what my parents did to fight boredom before the internet. I asked my 18 brothers and sisters, but they didn't have any idea either.
They were doing it back then.
So no comment. No comments whatsoever.
Right.
See, I don't have any examples because anytime that my father would throw these out, I just did my best to in one ear, out the other.
So I started these because of my daughter, because she would always roll her eyes at my jokes,
Right.
and she'd
the fun
be
part
like,
about being a dad, though,
exactly. Just the joy of being a father is annoying your children. It's just one of the special things that you have, especially as a father. So one of the jokes that I posted the other day is, my parents raised me as an only child, which really annoyed my younger brother.
Jeez.
See, you have to fight the urge to actually say something. My mom texts me to say our Italian restaurant is now out of pasta. We're penniless.
Oh.
There's a YouTube channel.
There
that
is
will
of two guys sitting on a dock.
sit on a
love
dock,
it.
and
Love
they'll
that
try
one.
to keep each other from laughing. They'll just, it's really fun.
All right, I
Good
got a
stuff.
quick question here from Scooter.
Okay.
Scooter wants to know, has any of the members of anyone in studio, basically, have you seen the Barbie movie yet?
No.
No.
I have not.
Me neither. That's a no. Sorry, Scooter.
So that explains
Is
why
anyone-
somebody
is
said
anyone
it's a
willing
man
to?
show today. Yes, it is.
Is anyone willing to see it?
Yeah, I'm willing.
Okay, I am too.
I'm willing to see it, but I'm not willing to pay for it.
I'm not
Okay,
interested
that's
in it.
fair.
I mean,
Yeah.
There's
if I
there's
came
a lot of
across
jokes you could just make from that comment.
If I came across it on TV, I would probably watch it, but I'm not going to go out to see it.
That's been one of the biggest movies of the year. It probably will end up
It
being
is-
the biggest movie of
I think
2023.
it is the biggest movie so far.
I think you're right.
So,
Yeah.
which is crazy. So, hey, we are going to play X's and O's. Ethan is going to stick around. Princess Storm is flying in. I'm the Storm. I was going with that analogy. So she is coming down the hallway, and she's going to play X's and O's with us. Mr. Wiggins is getting all geared up. He's already got the board written, and we're ready to go. My name is Mike Elam, sitting in for Annie Frey today on St. Louis's home for conservative talk on 97.1 FM Talk.
Well, my goodness gracious, let me tell you the news. My head's been wet with the midnight dew. I've been
This
down
is the
on
Annie
bended
Frey
knee,
Show.
talking to the man from Galilee.
Stewart's American Mortgage is the number one place to go to get your mortgage secured. If you're looking for the bagel loan, folks, you are going to look nowhere else other than Stewie, because Stewie's the only one who has the bagel loan. The bagel loan is called the Bagel Loan. Yes, like the breakfast food, or you could eat it anytime, I suppose. Bagels look like a zero. So he calls it the Bagel Loan to remind you that you pay zero in fees that other lenders out there are going to charge you for. Stewie takes care of you. He will work with you to help you, give you options, and guide you in what is going to be financially the best for you right now and also in the future. Call Stewie or text Stewie at 314-324-4440. 314-324-4440. And when you connect with him, mention the Annie Frey Show and get on the path to making an incredibly smart financial decision that will affect you for potentially decades. I've used Stewie twice, and I encourage you to check him out for your own financial situation. Use the Bagel Loan to get your next mortgage. 314-324-4440. Google the Bagel Loan, NMLS number 226715.
Attention taxpayers, ready for some bad news? With $80 billion in new funding from Congress, the IRS has launched their most aggressive hiring campaign ever to ramp up enforcement. If you're ignoring your taxes, don't delay another minute, because your paycheck, your bank account, even your home or business could already be at risk. Now, here's the good news. Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm, can get to work immediately, helping to protect you from the IRS. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, their tax attorneys and licensed professionals are experts at resolving tax problems. Let them help determine if you qualify for the Fresh Start Initiative or other powerful IRS tax assistance programs. Take control. Call Optima Tax Relief now for a free consultation.
Call 800-987-6122. 800-987-6122. 800-987-6122.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
When I met little Ruthie in 2010, she was just 5 years old. She wasn't eating much, she had no school to go to, and she didn't know who Jesus was. In December of 2023, Ruthie will be joining 12 others in the first graduating class of Bethlehem Christian Academy in Zambia, Africa. Hi, my name is Martin Winslow, founder and president of BCA. When you support a child like Ruthie through BCA, you get to join us in being the hands and feet of Jesus. Our mission is dedicated to transforming lives by feeding and educating poor and orphan children in some of the poorest places in Africa and South Asia. BCA's ministry not only provides physical bread to these kids, but also spiritual bread through the Word of God. For just $36 a month, you can help a child have a hope of a better future, but more importantly, give them the opportunity to learn about Christ. You can also join us on a mission trip. In fact, many will be joining me this upcoming December to watch Ruthie receive her diploma. To find out more about how you can help children like Ruthie, please visit bcaministries.com. That's bcaministries.com.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Looking at Donald Trump's mounting legal problems. I'm John Saucier, Fox News. Former President Trump's been in court a lot this year, but charges forward with his campaign nonetheless. Fox's David Spunt reports.
He's back on the campaign trail tonight, actually. He'll be in Alabama with supporters. Now he's a three-time indicted former president, his third indictment in 4 months. I watched the court proceedings yesterday. The former president stood up, pleaded not guilty to 4 criminal charges stemming from his alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election results. Now, the former president faces up to 55 years in prison if convicted on all counts. Just in this case, he's facing 77 different charges against all the different cases.
Cameras usually not allowed in federal court, but 38 House Democrats are asking for an exception in this case. He'll be back in court August 28th. A transcript of Devin Archer's interview with House investigators raising new questions about Joe and Hunter Biden's foreign influence for personal gain.
It focuses a great deal on, quote, the brand. Devin Archer told the House Oversight Committee the brand was the Biden family, and that delivered value to Burisma. In the transcript, Archer said Ukrainian natural gas oligarch Mykola Zlochevsky faced, quote, pressure from Ukrainian authorities during an investigation. Archer said they wanted Hunter Biden to help relieve some of that pressure. Archer said the Biden name was key to the survival of Burisma. Archer told House investigators that, quote, people would be intimidated to mess with Burisma because of the brand, the Biden name. And that's Fox's Chad Pergram. A federal appeals court lets a rule restricting asylum at the southern border to remain in place while a longer legal battle plays out over the rule's legality, a victory for President Biden and his border policy. As America is listening to Fox News.
This could be the start of a break-in.
Stop. This is Simply Safe.
Or the end of one.
Police are on their way.
Introducing the latest innovation in home security. 24/7 live guard protection, only from Simply Safe. Now, agents can see and speak to intruders through our new indoor camera to help stop crime in real time and for fast police response. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
It's not the heat, but it surely is the humidity. Very, very soupy atmosphere out there. Partly sunny skies, a couple of scattered showers and thunderstorms. Struggle, but we could hit 92. Tonight, clouds dominate, a batch of showers and thunderstorms after midnight, 72. The weekend, identical. Saturday, partly sunny, very humid, scattered thunderstorms and 89. Do that again on Sunday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Hi, this is Brian with Velocity Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 314-782-3333. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition and any price range in the St. Louis area. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses,
divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that needs updating, but you don't have the time or money for it? Great, because I love buying outdated houses. I buy vacant houses, job relocation houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 314-782-3333. That's 314-782-3333.
Updating your home with James Hardie Siding has never been more popular. With all of the options available, you need a partner to maximize your investment. The rising prices on vinyl siding has made Hardie Siding a great alternative. Siding Express is ready to refresh the appearance of your home or totally transform the look by installing Hardie Shake, board and batten, lap siding, or a stone accent to make it your dream home again. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor. Need ideas? Go to sidingexpress.com and schedule a free, no-obligation consultation today.
Jules on Hampton in St. Louis Hills is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, and fine watches on site. Jules on Hampton is a premier jeweler with an exquisite selection of diamonds, semi-precious stone jewelry, and vintage watches. Their expert design team can restyle your jewelry to today's contemporary style. They also do jewelry and watch repair. Need extra cash? Jules on Hampton is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, and fine watches. Bring your collectibles and clocks, sports memorabilia, and figurines too. Jules on Hampton, 4506 Hampton, just 3 blocks south of Chippewa. Call them at 314-752-5000. That's 314-752-5000. So if you need some extra cash, looking for that one-of-a-kind piece, make Jules on Hampton your first stop. Jules on Hampton in St. Louis Hills.
Angie makes it easier than ever to connect with skilled professionals to get your home projects done well, from repair to remodel. Book instantly at an upfront price or request quotes from multiple pros. Get started on the app or go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com.
Critical thinking in critical times. This is St. Louis's home for conservative talk. 97.1 FM Talk. Everyone is welcome. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
So it's Mike Elam sitting in for Annie Frey. We've got an hour left on the big show. Hope that your Friday is going well. So it's funny, this is like name dropping concert day today. So we are getting ready to play X's and O's. Ethan is here along with Princess Storm. Welcome, ma'am. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's Friday.
We were talking earlier because Annie was in here talking about Anna was in here earlier talking about being at the Nickelback show last night. So she got to party backstage with the opening acts, and she was talking about that stuff. So we were talking about famous people and things like that. So I just said to you, hey, who's the last big star that you've had in the studio? And you say?
Ben McLemore.
And Ryan says?
Poppin' Tay. That's not actually what I said.
Ryan says, wait,
we see so many people walking through here all the time. You don't know. We walk by somebody, you're like, oh, you're like an international sensation. Hi.
It's really funny when you work at a radio station, especially these days where you've got clusters of radio stations, right? So back in the day, we didn't have all these radio stations. We had like 2 that were in a building, and that was it, right? So it's funny when these days you'll have all kinds of people walking through, and you have artists from all kinds of different genres that could be in the studio or in the building at the same time.
You know what's funny is that you usually, not always, but you usually can tell when somebody is an artist just because they dress a little bit different.
Do you know Ben McLemore?
I mean, I know who he is. I don't
He's a
know him.
basketball player.
Oh, no. I'm thinking of Poppin' Tags guy. That's why I said Macklemore.
No, that's why I said that. No.
Yeah, she's like,
Google
no, different
Ben
guy.
McLemore.
No, that's we said Ben. That's what threw me off because I'm like, well, I only know the guy's last name.
He played basketball with a I forgot the team. He's about to tell you, but
There we go.
He's a professional basketball player. What's the team?
Trailblazers.
There we go.
You know what makes it difficult is that I looked up Ben McLemore, and McLemore has an album called Ben.
No way.
That's why you guys are so
Wow.
confused.
So you were on the same wavelength as me
I
then.
looked it up because I was like, Ben, I've never heard of him. So I was,
No, yeah.
that's what confused me.
Well, I
along with
went Macklemore as well. So we all went down the same road of this is like, okay.
No, he's along with like the Jason Tatums, the Bradley Bills. He's,
St. Louis guys. Very cool.
There we
So
go.
very cool. All right, so it is time to play X's and O's. Do we have a big fancy intro for this kind of thing?
You know what? Usually the artists, they dress a little different. The athletes, they're taller. That's how I recognize them, usually.
Thank you.
But again, in this case,
especially the basketball players.
Yeah.
The football players are just huge.
Yeah, the soccer players.
Soccer
too. You're
players,
like, you
not
look
so
like you're
much.
maybe a little more fit than most people.
Hey, we had the athletes in from City, and we thought, wow, what are you, 5'7"? That's amazing. But he's
All right.
really fast.
So our contestants today are Princess Storm and Ethan Hannaford. Facing off, I think, for the first time. It has to be because it's Ethan's first time playing.
This is true.
And then it is Mike Elam's first time being an expert. So
Which no one ever calls me.
we're going to have quite a bit of learning curve to happen here today. But
This is true.
because of that, I'm going to explain the game to you just in case you don't know what you're playing right now. This is X's and O's every Friday. You have a tic-tac-toe board behind you here on the board, numbered 1 through 9, just a normal tic-tac-toe board. There's a corresponding question for each of those squares. You two will have to pick which square you want strategically to try to get tic-tac-toes. We don't stop after you get one. We keep going. And if there is no tic-tac-toe, total number of squares is what will win. But after you pick a square, you ask an expert to answer the question for you. They answer it. You simply agree or disagree. So that's how we play X's and O's. Here we go. We are going to let the newbie go first, Ethan.
Oh, look at that.
Because you've won.
I'm a professional winner.
You're a professional.
I think I should go first.
All right, Princess Storm, go first.
I
Which
love that.
square would you like?
She just claimed home
Number
field
1.
advantage. I love
Yeah,
that.
she's just going with it, and we're going to
She
go with
is.
it too. Which expert would you like to answer your question?
Brad.
All right.
Good choice.
Brad. People at an Ohio amusement park were forced to climb down from the top of a 200-foot tall roller coaster after it broke halfway down its biggest drop. Brad, what's the name of the park in Ohio? We talked about it yesterday with Trisha Siegman.
Yes, I know. We
Name
talked
drop
about
it.
a couple of them.
We did.
Kings Point.
Kings Point. Agree or disagree, Storm?
Agree.
Incorrect.
Oh my gosh!
You had one of the two. That was one of them.
It was Cedar Point.
The other one was Cedar Point.
Doesn't he
It's
get a square?
it's actually Kings Island,
He gets
isn't
the
it?
square. It's Kings Island, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you
Oh,
say
man.
Kings Point?
I did.
Yeah, that's a mixture of the two. Yeah, okay.
We're gonna need
That's
a
a
different
horrible
marker.
A little
say,
darker marker. Darker marker. All right, Ethan.
Yes, sir.
So you already have number 1 now.
Feeling good.
So where do you want to go next?
Yeah, I'm going to go 5.
Number 5. Brad or Mike answering this question for you?
Oh, we'll even this out, Mike.
Hey!
I love this because this is only the second time this has ever happened where somebody in the room was big enough news that I got to use them in the question.
Oh.
This happened one other time with Annie when she was on Fox and Friends, where I got to use Annie in a question.
Okay.
But
So
this
what
is
did
only
Storm
the second time.
I'm like, how's it me?
This is gonna be about Ben McLemore. You watch.
Gotta be.
Okay. Mike,
Yes.
a famous St. Louis rapper joined Hot 104.1's Princess Storm to talk parenthood, new projects, and simply being her after 20-plus years in the game. Which famous rapper was it?
Oh, I don't get choices.
No. I'm not going to give you. Here's all the rappers.
This one should be
I don't
easy.
even know the answer. What's the question?
This made news. It was like one of the top Odyssey stories
Oh, I know this.
either this week or last. Famous St. Louis rapper joined Hot 104's Princess Storm to talk parenthood, new projects, and simply being her after 20-plus years in the game.
You read those things?
Yeah.
I'll see.
Yeah. Well, for this I do.
Okay.
Which famous rapper was it?
So I thought I knew the answer to this until you said her, because I was going a different direction.
H-R-R-R-R, not H-E-R.
Oh.
Being her. Being here.
Okay. I misunderstood.
Now you got the lingo down.
Yeah.
I misunderstood. Misunderstood your question.
Princess Storm's like, man, this is so lame.
Yeah. She's like, and I walked down the hallway for this.
Being her.
So I was going to say Nelly when you started that.
Okay.
It could still be a he.
Ethan.
It could be a he.
Ethan, was it Nelly?
I'm trying to think of other St. Louis rappers besides Nelly.
You don't have to know them. You just need to decide if Mike is right or
agree
not.
or disagree.
I'm gonna go ahead and disagree.
That is correct.
Good call. That's what I would do.
Amazingly, Mike Elam did not give the kind of confidence you'd want for that question.
Well, I misunderstood your question, and I'm like, I don't think I know a famous St. Louis female rapper.
It's not a female.
It's not.
I know, but when I was asking him about when he said her, I'm like, wait, what?
Her.
Okay.
That's how you say it.
It's her.
Who was it?
It was Chingy.
Yes, it was. It was Chingy.
Yeah.
Now, I did see when you were walking through with him.
Yeah, he came in
Did he look like an artist?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, kind of.
So
Actually,
go figure that Ethan doesn't go with the 57-year-old white guy from the suburbs.
Some
on
artists,
famous
honestly,
St. Louis rappers.
They get so big that they don't want to be noticed. So they don't.
Yeah,
they almost
Chingy's
dress
really,
down.
Yeah, low-key. He's really low-key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because some radio stations I've been at, the artist walks in and you're like, that's an artist. Because they got their hair combed a certain way and you're like, okay.
Right.
But some of these artists that are in here are so massive that you're like, oh, that guy is wearing sunglasses and a hat and a hood. So nobody knows who they are.
Dude, so back in the day when I was the production director at Magic 108, Busta Rhymes came in when he was at the peak.
Mm-hmm. He's been in the news this week, oddly.
Really?
Yeah.
When Busta Rhymes walked in, he reeked to high heaven when he came in, and it was not legal back then. But when he came in with an entourage. And I'm like, that is a star who just walked in and took over.
I mean, that's how Ethan walks in, too.
Well, this is true.
All right, that's enough of that.
Storm
Next
parked her
question.
people outside. I like that because the studio was getting full.
Princess Storm.
Okay, I'm going with Mike.
Mike, what square?
9.
She's
All
going
right.
for the block.
Going for the block. You better
Good
get
call.
it right. Otherwise, you're giving him the game already. Well, not quite giving him the game, but giving him a huge head start. All right, Mike. Wall Street took a huge dive on Wednesday, but it was for a unique reason. It was only the second time in U.S. history that our government had its credit rating downgraded.
Wait, I thought that was going to be the question.
No.
I thought you were going to say why. I knew that one.
He's gonna ask you
I
something
know. I
like
was all
off the
primed
wall,
when he
like,
was ready to go.
who rang the bell that day?
It was Stewie. Fitch moved us from a AAA rating to AA+.
Yes.
Under which other president has the U.S. government had its credit rating downgraded, that time, though, by the S&P?
Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter.
I believe him. He said it so fast.
That is incorrect. Man, don't ever trust Mike. Apparently.
He doesn't get the X.
He does get the X.
Oh, he does?
got it
Yes,
wrong.
she got it wrong.
But I thought because that would actually do 3 in a row, you don't get that to win the game. You do get that to win the game?
You always get it.
Yeah, you just made that rule up.
Oh, sorry.
We've never played that way before.
Okay.
No, that's
It's
where-
really tough to see this game
Brad's
on the
gonna be
radio,
busy
by
the
the
rest of
way.
the game.
Yes, it
no
is.
one's gonna pick Mike.
So
I don't blame you.
Right. 3 straight X's for Ethan.
Wow.
Who was
the
the answer?
answer was Obama in 2011.
Oh,
it was
okay.
over a debt ceiling fight.
I would have guessed Jimmy Carter as well.
It's a
Why
good
did
guess.
you answer so fast?
Because I thought it was Jimmy Carter. I was
No.
alive back then, and I remembered that things were going to hell in a handbasket under him. So
Yeah,
I
it
just
would make
assumed
sense,
It made sense.
but it
I'm
was
thinking
not.
like 79, things were bad.
This was recent enough that we could have remembered it. That's why I thought maybe you would.
Could have. I did not remember that.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Ethan, back to you.
Okay.
Commanding lead. Which square do you want?
Yeah, I'll go 4.
4, answered by whom?
Go Brad.
Okay.
Shocker.
Brad. You guys are just going to dominate this.
Oh, my God.
All right. It's been a big week at the trade deadline for the Cardinals. I mean, come on.
Storm, I think you should protest.
Man, I don't
this
even know
is
if
a setup.
I thought about bluffing this one. I don't know if I'll be able to.
They traded away, several big names, including their marquee pitcher, Jack Flaherty. What team did they trade Flaherty to?
Oh, that would be the St. Louis Browns.
Even I know the answer to that question.
Technically not super.
I'm not wrong.
You put me in a kind of a tough spot there.
It used to be right.
That is false.
That is correct that it is false.
What number?
Although Baltimore used to be
4.
the St. Louis Browns. You guys are just having fun. You're like batting around a mouse now. Before you eat it.
I just want to thank Andrew for saying Nixon. So I appreciate that. Thanks, Andrew, for saying Nixon. That made me feel better.
Princess Storm, let's get you on the board here.
It's okay.
No?
Number
Okay.
6.
Let's just keep giving squares to Ethan then.
She's like, I'm never playing when Elam's here again.
Number
I hate
6.
that guy.
Who would you like to answer this question?
Come on, Mike.
Okay,
hey.
Wow.
Okay. Mike, a
That was a
new
mistake.
law in this state will allow illegal immigrants to become police officers, meaning that illegal immigrants will now be enforcing the law.
That would be the state of New York.
What governor signed this bill into law?
I'm like, he didn't even finish the question.
Yeah. What governor
He paused. I thought
signed
that was the
this bill
question.
into law?
I don't believe
The
him.
governor of New York?
Thanks for playing.
As in who?
Incorrect.
All the above.
That's right. I mean, across the board, that's incorrect. It wasn't even New York.
I didn't even hear about this story. I have no idea what you're talking about.
It was Illinois, and it was J.B. Pritzker.
But he
Did he
said
really?
in
Yes.
didn't he? What was the beginning of the question? Like in Missouri or in the state?
Illegal
New
immigrants
law
can be
in this
cops?
state.
Yeah, he
I didn't
said
say which state it was. Yeah, so
Okay.
a new law in this state,
This
as
kinda-
in what state?
Wait,
But
Pritzker actually signed a law that said illegal immigrants can be a cop?
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Look at his
You don't have to be a
face.
citizen of the United States to be a police officer in Illinois anymore.
You don't have to be even legal resident to be a cop in Illinois anymore. It doesn't matter. They don't have bail anyway, so they're going to let you out if they arrest you. It doesn't matter. It's all good.
I
Look
think,
at Storm. She's
yeah.
biting her tongue. She's like, I was here for the game, not for the politics. Let's keep going.
Ethan.
Good call.
Actually,
You're on
want
the
to take
board.
a break right here and come back?
Yeah, this would be a
Okay,
good spot
that's
for
a
it.
good spot. All right. Ethan will have the floor when we come back from this break. Mike Elam is texting, so I guess I will just take us into the break.
No, Steve Moore was actually sending me a message with Jimmy Carter on it. So it's like, you know it's great when your boss is even giving you crap while you're on the air. Hey, we're going to keep playing with Ethan and Storm, and the answers are going to get better. Not from me, of course, but from other people. I'm sure it's going to be better. My name's Mike Elam, sitting in for Andy Frey. St. Louis is home for conservative talk and poor answers on X's and O's. It's 97.1 FM Talk.
I'm a sucker for you. Yeah. Any road you take, you know that you'll find me. I'm a sucker for
The Andy Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Breaking the typical me, break my typical rules. It's true, I'm a sucker for you.
It's such an honor to be partnered with Centric Security and Automation. This is a nationally known company that's right here in our own backyard. I want you to go to centricstl.com, Centric with a C, centricstl.com, and learn how they can provide you a free risk assessment or quote to upgrade your aging security system. A lot of people who they work with already have a system in place, but you know that the system that you are running right now is inadequate. Maybe it doesn't even work, or there's something you can do to make it work and it just hasn't performed for you the way you need it to. Centric Security and Automation can come into your place and give you that free estimate to help make sure that your system is secure. They provide secure cloud access control, AI-powered video surveillance systems, and they are a service-centric organization focused on providing amazing service. All of their technicians are required to complete monthly training, which allows them to stay informed of the latest technologies and provide the best service possible. Find them online right now by visiting centricstl.com.
You've been wanting to to check out that news story that everyone's talking about, but you just can't find the time. That's why the On Deadline podcast is here. We pull together interviews from Odyssey's radio newsrooms across the country and add important context so you can really get the news fast. From wildfires and catastrophes at sea to new laws and presidential candidates, we'll have coast-to-coast coverage for you all in one place. Subscribe to On Deadline on the Odyssey app or wherever you find your podcasts.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands to treat ED at up to 95% off. That's right, the same active ingredient as the brand name for 95% less. It's the same ED medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/radio. That's 4hims.com/radio for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/RADIO.
Hi, I'm Tom Connors. Went to Mark Patrick's hypnosis seminar February 6, 2019. Nothing worked before. Left there and never smoked again. Amazing. Easy, affordable, and guaranteed. A year later, with my wife Michelle, attended Mark Patrick's weight loss seminar. She lost 18 pounds and I lost 43 in 8 weeks.
It's true. He smoked 2 packs a day and nothing worked until Mark Patrick hypnosis. Now we're losing weight together, eating healthy, full on half the food, crazy, enjoying exercising. Who would have believed Mark Patrick hypnosis really works?
It's amazing. I can breathe again. My blood pressure went down and I've got so much energy.
So much energy.
And look great.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed early bird specials at $49.99. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings. That's right. Seminar Saturday, August 5th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites St. Louis Airport in St. Louis. Or Sunday, August 6th at the 4 Points by Sheraton St. Louis Fairview Heights in Fairview Heights. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 54 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
There's a music station that fits your taste at Odyssey.com. Download the app for instant access to hundreds of music stations and listen live to 97.1 FM Talk. The Odyssey app. Download it or stream from 971talk.com. You're listening to The Annie Frey Show.
There's an appropriate line in this, I can't change. And I can't seem to change my ways of giving horrible answers.
It's been great. That was the best break because you got texted by, I think, every single person you know saying, man, you suck at tic-tac-toe.
So when the operations manager sends you, grief about how horrible you are, and then the PD walks in and gives you crap about how horrible you are. And then your COO sends you a message that says, dude, you suck at tic-tac-toe. I'm like, I missed, I think, everyone except for one on your the bee or not the bee stories.
That's right.
I was
You did
horrible
those
at
too.
that.
Yeah.
And then we get to trivia and I'm like, okay.
He tells Trisha, I'm actually really good at trivia.
And she just laughed. She's like, I don't believe this for a minute. She just laughed.
Are you sure?
What other things do you lie about? This is, I'm feeling they're experts, and then there's you. So you're the guy who makes the top half of the class possible.
That's right. That's right. All right. So do we have our drummer back here, Brad?
He is back.
Okay. Here you go. Todd has re-entered the room.
Thanks, Todd.
Thank you, Todd, for drumming for us.
Thanks for not making fun of me as well.
He keeps very good time, too. All right, we're back at X's and O's, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 squares open. After all that, though, we only have one tic-tac-toe. After all of that dominance by Ethan, he still is beatable in this game, surprisingly.
Yeah.
It's not going to be easy, but it can be done.
Storm, it's like, Yeah.
Just ask Mike and disagree.
That's right.
Yeah, that's the strategy.
I feel a pathway to success.
Easy dubs there. Easy
Here we
dubs.
go.
It is Ethan's turn, though, so we'll see what he can do with this
I'm going
one.
for the double tic-tac, so I'm going 7, and I'm going back to Brad.
I don't blame you. Hey, even a friend from Rotary sends me a thing and said, "Hey, I thought he asked her question on the rapper thing also."
Oh, I don't blame. Yeah,
old guy problems, I guess. I'm like,
true.
thanks, Chris. Chris has got my back. Appreciate that. Sorry.
Okay. All right, Brad. Subway has announced that it will give one lucky winner a lifetime of free subs if they will simply change their name. What is Subway requiring the winner to legally change their first name to?
They're legally supposed to change their first name to Subway.
I believe that's correct.
Do you? Okay, well, you are right. That is right. Yes, Subway is going to require you to change your name to Subway.
I thought it was Jared.
No, I think they're distancing themselves
They've moved
from
on from
Jared.
that. You know
for
what?
some reason or another.
It is funny that you would give Brad that question because Brad was complaining earlier that if you eat at Subway, you smell like meatballs for the rest of the day.
You do.
See?
It's true.
And which I would think you smell like bread, but that's a
meatball sub.
red.
So it would be wise of Subway to pick somebody who already smells like meatballs. So that everybody would say, "Oh, it's no change for Subway."
Subway of the meatball
Subway
Subways?
Jones. Yeah.
Hey, and Chris knew that was Subway, so way to go, Chris. Good job.
All right, back to Princess Storm.
Come
Where
on,
you wanna
Mike.
go?
We are going with Mike, and we are going number 8.
I love you. Thank you so much.
Number 8. All right, and you disagree. That is correct. Let's get to the formality of the question now that she's already got the square.
This feels like Karnak. The answer is
Post Malone.
Yes,
Told-
my wife's favorite artist, by
Okay.
the way.
Well,
Not kidding.
that is correct.
Yeah, it is.
Post Malone told a podcast host this week that he sometimes writes his best lyrics while on the toilet. He also said that, quote, sending emails is his code phrase for going to the bathroom and writing music. Which fast food restaurant is Post Malone currently partnered with to sell more chicken?
Chick-fil-A.
I'm not going to tell you what to do here, Princess Storm.
Wait,
We
are
already
you
told
serious?
you. We already told you what to do, Princess Storm.
That's wrong. I know that answer.
That's right. That's wrong. He is, of course, wrong again.
I wanted to keep the streak alive.
Do you know the answer?
Canes.
Yeah, it's Raising
Yes.
Cane's. Correct.
Those commercials are really funny. Too,
Did you
by the
really
way.
know?
I did really know.
You did? Okay.
So
Look, he's
I
being
don't know.
seriously, Post,
Yeah, I know.
Post Malone is my wife's favorite artist. And she was even listening when he released his new album. She was listening to him do the live broadcast, and his dad does all this live stuff. And she follows his dad on social media to get all the inside stuff. I'm like, I feel like you're leaving me for Post Malone.
I like Post Malone.
I'm getting tattoos on my face just so my wife will like me again.
You know who else I like? Macklemore. We should talk more about that.
Ben's an awesome ball player.
That's right. I'm a huge fan of his work on and off the court.
Well, I like the album Ben by Macklemore.
Me
so.
too.
And with that, we're back to Ethan.
Ethan, where do you want to go?
Yeah, we're running out of options here, so I guess I'll go with 2, and then I'll throw it back to Mike.
Whoa. Okay.
Wow.
So that is
Glutton
Mike's
for
fifth
punishment.
question. So this is Mike's last question.
Okay, Mike.
Storm's going, thank God. I didn't want to pick him.
Mike, Lady Antebellum changed their name to Lady A
They did.
because of their racism nobody knew about until 2020. But they weren't the first to signal such virtue. The Dixie Chicks had to cancel performances recently because of a mystery illness that they aren't divulging, so that was the news item. But they're not called the Dixie Chicks anymore. Similar to Lady Antebellum, they changed their name, but to what?
The Chicks.
The Chicks.
I'll agree.
It's a risky game you're playing right there.
But what are you going to say, Ryan? Get the bell ready, baby.
Mike Elam is correct.
Thank you. Oh, God likes me. He loves you all the time, but sometimes he likes you.
What number 2?
Number two. Just like Post Malone goes while he writes music.
Gosh.
All right.
That's why he has crappy emails.
No.
Thank you.
Oh, my gosh.
We'll be here all week.
well,
Thank
it's
God
still
it's
three.
Friday.
It is Friday, and we only got a few more minutes
That's
here in
right.
this show.
We are there.
Three,
Listen,
Brett.
I almost made it through the week, guys.
So she said 3. Come on, let's go.
Since you can't
Like,
pick
get me outta
Mike,
here.
and because there's only one
Yeah.
square remaining.
Okay, Brad, regarding 9/11, one GOP presidential candidate is skeptical of certain details. He said this week, quote, "I don't believe the government has told us the truth," unquote, regarding 9/11. Which GOP candidate was it?
Oh, man. Who said that?
The music's getting so loud.
I know. I should turn it up.
It's
There, yeah.
intense.
As
As Brad tries to remember who's running for president.
Let's
on the
see here.
GOP side.
Let's go with
Okay, he don't know. And I say
Vivek
no, so-
Ramaswamy.
Vivek Ramaswamy.
I got like a 1 in 8 chance here.
Yes, you do.
23 candidates are running.
Agree?
Yeah, I definitely
Disagree?
don't know.
She's already said no.
You're saying no?
Yeah.
Oh, man, he was right.
Oh!
He pulled it out of the hat.
Well,
And
the
he
music
got it.
confused me, and it was so loud.
I
and
know. I know, but he got it
I
right.
got
It
Mike
was,
over here yelling.
everybody's yelling.
Sorry. My voice carries. I'm sorry.
Incredible. Wow. Well, that was a pretty dominant game at the end by
Wow.
Ethan there.
That was
3
ugly.
tic-tac-toes.
Man, 3 tic-tac-toes. So remember that for next time you play, because I'll try to guarantee that you don't get such a dominant performance next time.
Oh,
great.
look at
Appreciate
that.
it.
She's even putting Ethan Winner
That's very, very nice.
with a smiley face.
Thank you, Princess.
All right. So there we go. Ethan's first try was a good one. So congratulations to Ethan.
Oh, thank you. Thank
I
you.
think
You
Storm
have
threw the
won
game.
anything you want out of
I think
Princess
you threw
Storm's
the game.
desk.
That could be an interesting treasure trove of items that you could find there.
All right. So that's the game. Good
Well,
job.
That was fun and exciting.
You're new to it. That was your first time. Loved it. Hated
And
it.
his last time.
I have never been ridiculed more over a segment in all my years of radio. I started when I was 15, and that is the most crap I've ever taken for being on the radio in one particular segment from all of my bosses, both this job and others.
It's been a week for guest hosts this week because we had a guest host earlier in the week say that was the best interview I've ever had in my life. And then Mike's here on this segment. This is the worst segment I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, but John Hancock has a low bar. So, you
Yeah.
know.
Do you know who he was talking about?
No.
Cully Stimson.
Really?
Yeah. He thought he was just amazed. I mean, he was like legitimately, I think he said it. I don't know if it was on air or not. This is the best interview I've ever done in my life. And he wasn't talking about himself. He was talking about Cully Stimson.
Yeah. And Cully Stimson's a great interview.
Yeah, nothing against Cully Stimson. We were just like, okay. All right, man.
Thanks. And I'm glad you got one in there,
Yeah.
man. I figured he was talking about his interview with Michael Kelly.
No.
Because, he finds Michael very interesting, which is great. Hey, we're going to take a break. We will come back. We will talk about the poll question. Storm, I'm curious what you think about this. Your YouTube live chat poll question is, what is the acceptable amount of time to wear jeans before washing them? Once, a couple of days, a week, or more? We will get the answers to that on the other side on the Annie Frey Show. My name is Mike Elam. I'm sure everyone is happy that Annie will be back on Monday on 97.1 FM Talk.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @Annie Frey Show.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This weekend, the hottest hot tub sale and swim spa deals are at St. Louis Premium Outlet Mall. 3 days only. Every hot tub and swim spa must go up to 50% off. Hurry, the clock is ticking. Only at St. Louis Premium Outlet Mall in Chesterfield. Sale ends this weekend. EliteSpaSales.com.
Ron had a tax problem he just couldn't handle on his own.
I owed the IRS taxes for over 5 years, but I didn't have any money to pay the taxes.
Those years cost him dearly.
Most of it was fees and interest. It was horrible.
Ron finally called in the pros.
I called Optima Tax Relief, and boy, am I happy I did.
The leading tax resolution firm, Optima, is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. They've resolved over $1 billion for their clients. Ron was overjoyed.
They settled my account with the IRS. I was ecstatic. They are a lifesaver. They are. I am so happy.
Take Ron's advice and call Optima now for a free consultation.
Yeah, don't do like I did and wait. Call Optima Tax Relief. Do it now. You'll be ecstatic like me.
Call 800-987-6122. 800-987-6122. 800-987-6122.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Mike Elam's been hosting today and doing a great job. He knows so much. You can rewind and hear his interview with Mark Harder at 12:25 or Andrew Koenig at 1:05, talking about the sales tax holiday that's coming up and all the ins and outs of that. Right now, it is 2:41. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Brian, kill me.
You've had 2.5 years. Where's the proof? Oh, there is no proof? Okay. What about causing the insurrection? Where's the proof of that? Where's that charge? It's not there.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
Birds flying high. You know how I feel.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Sun in the sky. You know how I feel.
Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
Drifting on by. You know how I feel. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good.
Michael Bublé, Canada's own.
A man can sing.
So what's funny is years ago, I was at Smooth Jazz, and Michael Bublé was coming into town. He was a brand new artist. Not very many people knew him. But my wife and her friend were just crazy about this guy. And it was at the Fox, and Olivia Newton-John was the headliner. And he was the opening act. So we...
Are you doing NPR right now?
David Myers, who's our program director, invited me to come back and meet him. So I said, listen, if you can only get a couple of people in, why don't you take my wife and her friend? And they went in and pretty much hung out with Michael Bublé through the entire Olivia Newton-John show. And
Wow.
I was like, brought you here to see Olivia Newton-John. She's like, yeah, I don't care. Amy and I just got to hang out with Michael Bublé for an hour and a half. So I don't
What was
care.
he like? Total jerk.
Oh, he was awesome.
Oh,
he was sitting on a table and having a drink while talking
he was
to
sitting
them.
on a table?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That's a cool guy thing.
Yeah.
He was. She said he was everything you would hope that he would be in person. And it's really nice when you meet somebody famous and they turn out to be just a really nice, cool, hey, how you guys doing? Thanks for coming out to the show. How'd you enjoy it?
Yeah.
I mean, mind you, he was, like I said, he was brand new. And he's opening up for Olivia Newton-John. So he wasn't the big famous Michael Bublé guy he is now. But
Your wife is never going to leave.
You don't think so?
No, not after that story. And the whole Post Malone thing. She's on like a roll.
Yeah. Radio was really cool for meeting all these famous people over the years.
Yeah.
Right? So it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are getting back to our poll of the day, which was, what is acceptable amount of time to wear your jeans before washing them? Once, a couple of days, a week, or more? Mr. Range.
Man, I came up with this poll, and what I'm looking for is a little support from the fannies out there.
The fannies.
The fannies. Yep, that's what they called themselves. We didn't name them that. They called themselves that, and we're going to go roll with it.
Just repeat.
But I am a couple of days guy. Like the first time you wear jeans, they don't fit right when they come out of the dryer or whatever it is. But the next day is when they fit about perfect. And so I'm like, wear them once, and then twice, maybe 3 times.
3 times a lady.
Yep.
Thanks,
and
Lionel.
then maybe think about washing them. But definitely one is too soon.
Right.
Too soon.
I agree completely. Brian?
I'm at a week.
You're at a week.
Yeah. I'll do 1 week, but no more. Past a week, then it's getting a little inappropriate.
How many times would you wear that same pair of jeans over the course of a week? Would you wear them every day? Would you wear them every other?
Well, 5 times, I guess. I would call that a week, so not 7.
So you would wear them 5 times in a row, and then you would wash them.
Mhm.
Ryan will wait a week, but he only wear them once.
Yeah.
All right, Princess Storm.
Tell us what we're doing well and what we're not.
Hey, she washes and folds her own clothes.
I'm a weak girl.
You're a week girl?
Yeah.
Okay, wear them for a week.
No, I don't wear them for a week. I might wear them like 2 times.
Okay.
During a week.
So
Yeah.
wear them twice
But
within
I'll-
a week, and then wash them.
Yeah.
So she'd be a couple of days then. You'd be a couple of days.
Yeah, but I won't wash them.
No, but you're going to
Yeah.
I think that what this poll is really saying is how many times would
Would
you
I
wear
wear?
your jeans before you need to wash them?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
that's,
yeah.
You know,
what, that's
2
what
days.
it's asking.
Yeah, so that's kind of thing. So you'd wear them twice, and then you'd wash them.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I would say maximum of 3 that I would wear them and then wash them. I don't wear jeans very often at all. I've actually worn jeans twice this week, which is very rare for me. I'm normally wearing slacks or wearing a suit, so I don't wear jeans that often, and especially during the summer because they're just hot. I don't like wearing jeans in the summer because they're warm. That's why I like wearing the slacks. You can get the light fabric, and it's awfully nice, but I think you got to get at least 2, if not 3 wears of your jeans, because to Brad's point, the first time you wear them, they're just uncomfortable. Although I do appreciate ladies wearing those jeans when they first get them out, because they are tight. And God love you for doing that. But for me, that's not an attractive thing. So it's
Let's just let him go.
What?
Just don't talk and let him finish.
good to let those jeans stretch out a little bit. Fat guys in tight jeans, not attractive.
Fun to be on the other side of this, isn't it, Ryan?
Yeah,
It is.
Now I can see why you guys do this to
Yeah,
me
absolutely.
Exactly.
sometimes. You just hang me out there.
Just wait until he plays the sounder when you don't have your headphones on.
Yep.
I feel so bad for Hannah and all the stuff that you
good
guys
stuff.
have done to her.
That was good stuff, though.
All right, so where are we at on this poll?
So let me read a couple comments first, and I'm sorry, I got to move this mic over here and try to reach the computer.
Leave me
because
alone.
I am always really far away. But Trask says, I said a week but it definitely depends on the work involved. So whatever you do during the week, it depends. So I imagine if you're doing something like what I do, which is more of an office job, less sweaty, yeah, week is great. If you work in construction, you probably want to wash them a little more often.
I would hope.
Wavy Lester says the right answer is until they show visible dirt.
Way to go. Nice job.
That's a solid answer.
That is a
It
strong
wasn't
answer.
one of the choices, but it's a solid answer.
Way to go off the board. You had other.
JB says that every time you wash your jeans, you decrease the life of them, which I did not know that. I would think that maybe some of the stuff that's in your body would do that as well.
Incorrect, JB. Oh, sorry, we're not playing that game.
Lori says, unless I spill something on mine, I will wear them for a couple days, maybe several days. I got Eric here says, jeans seem to be more comfortable with more use but limited washings. That I can get behind.
I'm with you.
We call it butt sprung. When you get your jeans a little butt sprung, they're a little bit more comfortable. So
That just sounds disgusting.
Rick says, wear your jeans until they can stand up by themselves. No.
And this explains why Rick spends lots of time alone.
Yeah. And then Grant also said that really depends on what you're doing in said pair of jeans. Are you digging ditches or just lounging
I just
around?
had a weird flashback. I had a friend in grade school, in 5th grade. His name was Chris.
Hi, Chris.
I don't remember anything about hanging out with Chris other than that he was mostly raised by his grandma. And so his grandma was never really talkative. She didn't really want to hang out with 5th grade Chris and his friends,
Go figure.
But the one time that I ever had any conversation with Chris's grandma, she said, well, back in the 60s, we used to have those jeans just painted on us. And I didn't know what that meant at the time.
Right.
But the phrase hung with me because I'm like, painted on you.
Yeah.
And then I learned later what she meant. And she explained, she went into great detail.
Oh.
She said, we used to lay down on a table and get such tight jeans that our friends would have to pull the zipper up with pliers. And I was like, man, this is a weird story. And that is the only thing I remember about Chris.
I don't even remember really about Chris, but Chris's grandma used to wear painted-on jeans, and it freaked me out.
Yeah.
Hey, Conway Twitty had that song. Last night I met a lady wearing tight-fitting jeans.
Oh.
What?
I feel like I'm Ryan Wiggins. Why am I here?
What are you playing?
I don't know what that
What
is.
is happening?
It's like Halloween.
I don't know where that came from. I really don't know where
Welcome
that noise
to
came from.
the alternate universe.
Holy cow.
Where this
I
plays
feel like
out.
I'm Ryan Wiggins.
It couldn't have been a better sound. But...
It really couldn't have been so
Oh my
well.
gosh. All right, you guys ready for the poll results?
I
don't know.
Yeah, that's
All
what we
right,
were doing.
so,
right. We got 5 minutes. Let's share it.
What
Let's
is
do that.
the acceptable amount of time to wear your jeans before washing them? Coming in last place with 10% of the vote, once.
No kidding.
Then the third place would be more than a week with 15% of the vote. And then the winner with 50% of the vote, a couple of days. And then naturally the week came in with 25% of the vote. So most of our audience believes that the proper amount of time is just a couple of days. So not a lot of people think you should wear your jeans once, wash them, and do it again. So
I'm with you. I just don't want to do that. The jeans are, to your point earlier of the whole butt spring thing, which is awkward for me to think about, but because that's not the mental picture that I want to have by what that word brings up. So you got to wear your jeans once just to kind of get them loose and manageable. And once you wear them a time or two, now they feel comfortable and you're relaxed and your jeans feel good. I don't want to wear jeans that someone has to use pliers to pull them on me.
that is insane.
I agree. That's
don't
actually
have
how I got
friends.
this job, being loose and manageable.
I thought you were going to say pulling people's jeans on with pliers.
I was ready to say.
I was like,
I have no idea what Annie's interview process is like, but she's like, if you can help me pull these jeans up with these pliers, I'll
No.
give you a job.
It's not like that at all.
well,
It was
Annie
Steve
doesn't
Moore.
do the hiring.
Yeah, she doesn't do any of the hiring, so it doesn't really matter. That's why I'm so bold with Annie.
There's
She
so
can't
many
fire me.
things that we just can't talk about on the radio at this time
Man,
of day.
we walk right up to that line, don't
You
we?
have to be after 10 o'clock to be able to say those things. Storm, have you enjoyed being a part of this
Just
debacle?
Just say no.
Just-
Of course.
this is it. So we were just talking about this, and I'm
Oh
dying
my
to go
God,
back.
what are we talking about?
We were talking
I
about.
know, this scares me.
We were
I don't
talking
know what
about-
he's going to do.
We
know.
were talking about you changing the code on your door, right?
See, I'm like, don't tell people that.
No, it was very funny.
Okay.
Because I was. It just kind of speaks to the fact of people do things at the strangest time for the strangest reason.
Yeah.
And I'm always dying to, hey, where'd you come up with that? What made you do that? Or what made you think of that, right?
Yeah.
So you were telling me that you decided to change the code at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So what time do you normally work, by the way?
9 a.m.
Okay. So it's not. I'm I'm just like, it's not.
She has regular hours.
Yeah.
Right. It's one of those things. If you work late in the afternoon, if that's when you start, you would be up late, right?
Yeah.
But if you work at a normal time, like 9 a.m., being up at 1 o'clock in the morning is a late to be up.
So I work nights for like 7 to 8 years.
Okay.
So I'm used to being up to 2 a.m. all the time.
I was just curious. I'm like, so it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and you've been thinking about this, and you're like, I'm going to change this code at 1 o'clock in the morning.
No, so I'm really like a person, if it doesn't get done, I'll get fed up, and I'm like, I'm going to do it, and I'll do everything and like exhaust myself
I
out.
completely understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like at some point you're like, if I don't do it right now, it's not going to get done. I'll tell you a weird story. I woke up out of a deep sleep, and I went outside and fixed the headlight switch on my car. And it was like 3 a.m. But it was
Really?
I just sat up and I was like, nope, this is what's wrong with it, and I can fix that. And I went out and I did it, because if I would have just fallen back asleep, I would have forgotten what it was that I thought of, and I wouldn't have got it done. But there's other times when it's like, man, I need to get this done. Well, now's the time. Time to do it now.
Yeah.
If I don't do it now, it won't get done.
At 3 o'clock in the morning, it just said, this is the time to go do this.
No, it like keeps you up. It's like on your brain. It's just like driving you crazy mentally, you know?
I get that.
I don't do that at all. When I go to sleep, I am asleep for a long time, and I will sleep. I think last night I slept about 11 hours. It was pretty nice.
There you go.
I wake up every hour. when
Do
I'm
you
sleep-
really?
Yeah, I can't sleep.
She sleeps like a baby. She wakes up every 2 hours
I
and
really
cries.
do.
It's
It's terrible.
But the whole getting things done thing, I really get, because I'm a little bit like that. But man, my wife, if she says it is time to clean the house, then it's time to clean the house and not ask questions. And she will just go until it is done. And it could take hours. But and especially with 3 kids.
How long did it take you to realize, no, when she says it's time to clean the house, it's just time to clean the house and stop arguing?
You know what? The first time, it was like a look in her eye and the way she said it that I'm like, this is the way things are now. When I'm married to this woman who's now going to determine when we clean the house, and I'm going to do that. And other things I would fight, but there's certain things like that. It was like instinct. You just knew it is time to do exactly what she says.
She had a crazy look in her eyes and said, you need to. My wife had said to me at one point, and I learned, she said, hey, I need you to do this. And I said, do you need me to do it now? I was like, oh, you're an idiot. That was the wrong thing to say. Hey, I have enjoyed hanging out with you guys this week. I got to do it on Monday and got to do it on Friday. I'm sorry you had to deal with Hancock in between, but I'll always love coming back. Thank you to the Fannies for being so kind. Thank you guys who were listening. Princess Storm, it's been a pleasure.
No
I'm
problem.
so sorry that I was a horrible expert for you. Expert was the broadest sense of that word that we've ever heard. And thanks to Steve Moore for not firing me on the air today. Although God knows if I will be back. I'm supposed to be
He's
back
right
doing
outside the door, so.
Mark Cox's show on the 14th. So I will see you then. Until you guys have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for listening to 97.1 FM Talk.
Shopping for a home on the Illinois side of the river is made easy when you partner with Jen Teskey of RE/MAX Alliance. You can learn more about her online